And we are live. And I mean, let's see, a lot of stuff have happened. Formula 1 have happened, Formula 2, Formula 3, IndyCar, and House of the Dragon have also happened, if people cares. But we will start with Formula 3. Let's see what happened. Let's see, we are... we need to go here, I believe. Let's see all results. Let's see if I... or do I even remember this race? I believe... the fuck his name's? Aidan Millward. The fuck is his first name? Either way, he was leading... yeah, he took the lead in the beginning and I think almost led the whole race. Chris Mansell, he took pole position, but he lost it after the start, and yeah, he drove after Lindblad the whole race. Let's see, did something more happen? Let's see. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Yeah, nothing happened until it was like 2 laps. Let's see if we can find the people that... oh, you can't. Oh, you can. DNF. Let's see. Okay, so the people they crashed out or got pushed out, they didn't apparently DNF. Because I know this one wasn't part of the top 10. But he DNF'd or something happened. But yeah, so the one thing that happened was positive, that Dino Beganovic could maybe have finished at 11th, but thanks to the other people in top 10 that pushed out each other, he become P8. So he got 4 points, so 7 points this weekend. Not good, but man, it could be in... oh, it's almost part of the one of the worst races for him. I thought Monaco was a bad race for him. The fuck did he get these points? That's weird. Okay, but yeah, the first race wasn't that good for him, so second worst. Let's see. Oh yeah, Fornaroli took the lead in the championship. Mini had a really bad weekend. I mean, look, 0 scores. And yeah, he was leading, I believe, the championship. But no longer. Because Finoli and Browning is taking that place. Did something more happen? Yeah. Oh my god, this is an interesting stat. I mean, I heard that this information that he got... I don't know if I heard third, but he have 3 second places. But holy shit, how can you be so consistent being second, but being so bad in everything else? I mean, the sprint race 0, and this 1 point, 0 points, but somehow we succeed to be second in 3 races. So yeah, I don't think much happened in mention. I mean, the only I can mention is people crashed out or ruined the score the points they could have got. And let's see. Sprint race. Now we want the race. Oh yeah. Victor Martins won the sprint race yesterday. If we want to be correct, it was not yesterday. It was 2 days ago. What did you say? The day before yesterday. Because yesterday was this race. And it was almost like watching IndyCar. And then, I mean, the ending. 2 Americans stood on the podium. So Jack Crawford and Korea stood on the podium that are from America. And then we Galpinto from Argentina. Let's see what happened. Yeah, Polaran should maybe have won the race, but he just drove off the drove off the track and drove. Yeah, lost his first place and second, and I believe he was maybe 5th. After that, maybe we got 1 position back. So he ruined his chances to win. Let's see. Did something more happen? Yeah, here you can't see everyone. That's boring. But Dennis Auger and someone more crash out in the beginning. Antonelli, I mean, not a good race. I think he started like 5th or 6th, and then he just did not a good race. Where do we have Oliver Bearman? Okay. Let's see, is it that? Yeah. Mayata. Man, he... Not a good racer for him. Well, Polaran is still leading. And... yeah, Bortoletto look nice. Let's see, Antonelli 48 points and Oliver Bama 18. So, I mean, something Oliver Bama can be happy that is better position, or have a better standing in Formula 1 than Formula 2. Did something more happen? Not what I remember. Oh, Bortoletto and do we have him? Miney almost crashed out each other on the last lap, but they only got the wing damage, or I think it's Bortoletto got the wing damage. But they could continue. Man, that would be so depressing if they ruin the races. Let's see if we go back to... yeah. But who knows, maybe Bortoletto or Miney will get a penalty. Okay. Oh yeah, I think they... let's see. Have Crawford won a race before? No. As something, I don't know what was said, but it sounded like it was his second win in Formula 1, or not Formula 1, Formula 2. Maybe it is, but in this season, this is the first win in 2024. And I would say that was weird to hear the American national anthem in Formula 1. I mean, if you watch IndyCar, it's the anthem every race. And I believe you get that in when they are in USA also, Formula 1. But having it played on the celebration or the podium, that was something new. Wonder how they will do with the engine in with Red Bull. Will it still stand as an Austria engine, or will it be an American Ford national anthem engine? But either way, now the most important thing is Formula 1. And oh shit, man, this could have happened, but it didn't. So let's go to race result. Okay, we can start. I felt like 11th down to 20. It like they drove their own race. They didn't. Nothing happened for them. It's like the worst cars Formula 1 LF. It's like 1 to 10 was the real Formula 1. 11 to 20 was the Formula 1B or something. But yeah, Esteban Ogone and Prix Gasly. More points for Alpine, and now they have one more point than Haas. Sorry, Paris. I mean, he got at least points. What more should he do? I mean, this I would say, he got to Q3 and got points in the race. This is almost so much better than Red Bull maybe hoped for. And sadly, Oscar Piastri got 7th. Ferrari just 5th and 6th. They had a really nothing race. And Mercedes had slightly better nothing race. But everything, I don't know how much I believe George Russell ruined everything for Lando Norris, but or a fun race, because the Max versus Lando Norris almost never happened. After George Russell took the lead, and then Max Verstappen get past him, and Lando Norris never get past George Russell in a good way. It was never a fight between them until the end, but that was really not a fight either. So this race could have been so good if George Russell never took the lead. But he did, and the race was a lot of nothing. And yeah, fuck me. And just because I somewhat saw it. Almost, I don't know. I really can't care enough to actually watch fucking IndyCar like other people that actually like IndyCar watch it. Where the fuck do I go? I want to timing and scoring. I want to fucking see the results. I don't know if Coulthard could have won this race because I don't care. But Alex Palou won the race. The only positive you can say about Andretti is Coulthard got second, Kyle Kirkwood 5th, and Mark Ericsson 10th. And you can maybe be somewhat happy with the McLaren, a 3rd place, 8th place, and then we have 12th place for Nolan Siegen that took Theo Pourchaire's place. And let's see what more. I mean, there was some safety cars, but people drove off and pushed each other off, and yeah, a lot of stuff happened that I might have seen or not seen. Yeah, so that happened, IndyCar happened, and then House of the Dragon happened. But we will watch. I mean, they have time. They had. Let's see. When was the race? 15:00. Can we say 5 hours plus 4? That's 9 hours. 14 hours have Autosport and P1 and Peter Windsor time to do an reaction and stuff. So the Autosport, P1 and Peter Windsor will be watched. What they think about the race that I believe was a lot of nothing, but who knows? At least Peter Windsor will give some slightly enjoyable information. Let's see, 1669, I think we are up, not 2007, great year in Lego, I believe. 1669. So I still have not done a correct counting if it's 1669. So after this, I don't know. Can you call it speed run? The speed run of collecting tropical fishes. No, I wouldn't say this is a speed run. It's a slow, lazy run. But when I've done, when the stream is over, I hopefully make sure I have time to do an, can you say correction, counting, to make sure that the numbers are right. No, I want to take from that. And yeah, so when I finally get over 1700, the numbers is right, because then I can do a fun countdown on how many fishes is left to collect, like from 1000 to 0. And yeah, while I'm looking for the fish, I can also mention that, yeah, the House of the Dragon episode 2 from season 2 was almost like the first one. A lot of interesting stuff happened. Then some really nothing happened. And then a lot of something happened. I mean, I want to see the actual war start, so for me it's like, until then is, I feel like they just wasting airtime for the war to happen. I mean, sure, you need to make the story make sense and the reason why everything happens, but man, I want to see the war. I want to see the dragons fight. I want to see the North going down to help. I see the... What's the name of that castle? Haralo, what is called? Let's see. Game of Thrones. Hardenhal. Yeah. Want to see Daemon take over it and gather some troops and finally do some fighting. But hey, we can start with Spanish Grand Prix race analyze. Why F1 fastest car couldn't beat Max Verstappen. I mean, I would say George Russell ruined everything. Maybe staying out and do the other strategy maybe was worse, or maybe it was better. But everything got ruined when George Russell took the lead and also was really slow and was leading, but fast enough for Lando Norris not to get past. So I mean, almost like when Logan Sargent ruined the Canadian race for Lando Norris. He had everything in the bag to win the race, and then no. I mean, and this was our thinking, like, will this continue? People are hyping up a race that, oh my god, Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz can win a race. And then in the end, Max Verstappen win the race. And I will let it continue. All this hype for someone else to win the race. They can still win the race. The race happened, something happened, and then Max Verstappen just win the race. Because, I mean, it happened now, let's see. I mean, like, Canadian Grand Prix happened, this, fuck, where are they? Spain. Then was there some other race, I believe. Let's see. Was it Imola when it looked like he could maybe win the race? So now we had only 2 races. Okay. Miami was the one that he actually won that, but he could also not have won that. But hopefully Silverstone will give some luck for Lando Norris, so his second win can be Silverstone. I mean, he wanted the first win to be Silverstone, but second can maybe also be somewhat happy for. Or maybe every race from now to the end can maybe be a race when he can win. But yeah, let's see what the Autosport have to say. And oh yeah, Lewis Hamilton, he got podium. So Mercedes have got 2 podiums now. First one they got podium was George Russell. And this is some interesting fact. Lewis Hamilton, it was, how many races was it? 12, I think. 12 races. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6, 9. And then I believe you could go to the next year somewhere. So 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. In Mexico, he was on the podium. 12 races between. No podium. And on the 13, he got a podium. After George Russell got the first podium for Mercedes. And maybe this is the last podium he will get for Mercedes. That could be fun. Yeah, oh shit, I can maybe... here we have Lewis Hamilton podium. Here we have no podiums. So 9 podiums without Lewis Hamilton. And then go to next season. 3 more races without Lewis Hamilton on the podium. So 12 races. And then here we have Lewis Hamilton in Mexico. Oh my god, last time Alonso was on the podium was in Brazil. And this race could maybe have given this to Sergio Perez. So, man, wonder when Aston Martin will be good again. Or probably not. The reason why they was up here was Ferrari was slightly bad and McLaren was really bad. After this was McLaren good and took over the place, and then Ferrari took over in the end, and between that was between Aston Martin and most of Aston Martin and Ferrari. Oh, God damn it. Yeah, but let's see what I have to say about their Spanish Grand Prix race analyze. Why F1's fastest car couldn't beat Max Verstappen.
Round 10 of the Formula 1 World Championship saw the sport head to Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix, and with it, a familiar story. Max Verstappen takes an early lead, controls the vast majority of the Grand Prix, then has to hold off a resurgent Lando Norris before taking the victory. Ah yes, we've seen it before, no doubt we'll see it again. But here is the...
Probably yes. The Red Bull domination. I mean, I feel like it will be like in 2022. Like, it will not feel like domination because he will not get pole position. He will not maybe win the races far away, or further away, or what do you call? The gap between the first and second car will not be that big. So it will maybe never look like domination, but he will always be more or better off. So he will more likely to win a race. So it will not look like when Mercedes won a race, but they will still win a race like Mercedes did. So it's like, can't you still call it Red Bull domination if they still win a race? It's like, I mean, almost like IndyCar. You can get pole position, but you're not the one that will most likely win the race. Because, say someone in the top 2 teams, and you will probably be right. I mean, if you say Scott Dixon, Will Power, what's his name, Palou. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's 50% of his name. Or New Garden. Yeah, do McLaughlin wins some races? Probably not much enough to maybe be mentioned. But at least Dixon, Willpower, New Garden and Palou. If you say one of these names, or if you just say this is my top 5 that will most likely win the race. Oh, Trident. I mean, you will most likely be right. Or if you just say one of the top 4. So, I mean, it could be same in Formula 1 now. You can... Whoever can get pole position. But we will probably not win the race. No! Man, I hate when that's happened. One trident to get is lost when that happened. Because the looting is not the one that finish it. Yeah, okay, continue.
The result for you. As I say, Max Verstappen took the victory, finishing just over 2 seconds ahead of Lando Norris, who looked very, very strong out there. Third and fourth, it was the 2 Mercedes. That's right, Lewis Hamilton led George Russell home ahead of the 2 Ferraris in 5th and 6th. Leclerc ahead of his teammate Sainz.
Man, it was so weird to see Ferrari not catching up or getting past Mercedes. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Piastri came home 7th. Sergio Perez, yes, in 8th. A great result for him. And
actually, true. It's like, I mean, 2 DNFs and now he Q3 and now points in the race. It's like the 2-year contract with him is 100% worth it.
Gasly and Ocon, the 2 Alpines getting in the points. A great result for Alpine, taking home 3 for the constructors. Then it was the Haas of Hulkenberg, the Aston Martin for Fernando Alonso. Not a great result for the Spaniard. Zhou Guan Yu, Lance Stroll, Ricardo Bottas, Magnussen, Albon, Tsunoda and Logan Sargent making up the last place.
Oh, and Trident.
Well, that's how it stands, but joining me to discuss every element of the Grand Prix, I'm delighted to have Jake Boxall-Leg, aka JBL, and
oh my God,
there is home Grand Prix, sort of. It's the Belgian Phil Clearen. Gents, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, thank you. I think, you know, expectations were always sort of iffy when it comes to the Spanish Grand Prix.
Oh my God,
I didn't think it was the worst Spanish Grand Prix we've ever had, which we'll get into
in
a bit.
Yeah, quite now. One more fish for the collection, and I almost made it get killed by a zombie trident, and I still didn't get a trident, so it was... Man. Almost made a depressing flashback get repeated. Okay, back to... Yeah, I agree. It was boring.
But, yeah, sort of teased a sort of slightly more interesting result than one we got. But otherwise, you know, tactically, it was sort of quite entertaining.
Yeah, as JBL said, I thought it was quite interesting strategically, but then, you know, it never really felt like Max was going to lose once he was in the lead. So, not the thriller that maybe we wanted to see, and that we've been...
Yeah, and all is thanks to fucking George Russell taking the lead. If he just hadn't took the lead, maybe he will also been on podium. But man, because of he got past Max Verstappen and Lando Norris more or less maybe made so he got past them. He lost the win.
Pleasant to see over the past 3 or 4 races.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how many times the commentators yelled as loudly as they could in a high-pitched voice that Norris was catching Verstappen, you did feel that maybe he could turn the screw when he needed to. But thoughts really, where do we start on this one? Where do we start with the Spanish Grand Prix? Let's start with the positives, right? Let's start with that battle between Verstappen and Lando Norris. Now,
The positive. It was never a fight between them.
what Norris has said. He seems to be disappointed. Now, that's a big swing, isn't it, from what we saw last year from Lando Norris. But
okay.
He's disappointed at only finishing second place.
I mean, isn't that something you can celebrate? He's unhappy to finish P2. That means McLaren is 100% better than Mercedes will ever be. And that's a good thing. Also, airtime will be away. Also, I hate this ad. It's so bad. The music is annoying. The fuck are they trying to promote? I mean, the first time I saw it, I don't know. I was so focused about how fucking annoying the music was in the ad. So I didn't know anything of what the ad is actually is about. But holy shit, I hate this ad. I mean, come on. Make a phone game ad that you can somewhat be enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I think the McLaren has made
creeper.
a certain amount of steps now where the team can genuinely say, look, we should be winning races now. I think
Wonder when Toto Wolff or Mercedes will be able to say that.
the part they're missing out on...
And maybe they could, after the Canadian race, that they could maybe have won the race. But maybe that's somewhat a stretch to believe that.
is know-how. Obviously, yes, of course, they have won a race this season.
Yes,
But
man.
it's the difference between getting one race result and delivering week after week. And that's something that Red Bull does, and that's something that McLaren hasn't done for well over a decade. So that's something that it needs to recover and recoup and understand. When we were looking at the race, I think you can
One more
sort of,
fit for the
obviously it
collision.
was a two-stopper, generally speaking. Two sort of different ways of skinning that cat. Either you go soft, medium, soft, or soft, medium.
Did he actually say skinning the cat? The fuck?
Medium, hard. Two sort of different ways of skinning that cat. Either you go...
Why skinning a cat? Let's see, do we have any information about what the fuck can that mean? Let's see. Skinning. Okay, I don't know if I actually got the right stuff when I just said skinning a cat and had the picture on, but expression there I actually wanted. More than one way to skin a cat means there are various ways to accomplish the same task by killing a cat. Okay. This saying is a proverb, which is a short common saying in a phrase that particularly gives advice and shares universal truth. How to fucking kill a cat is my take. The organ is a name of dubious, but according to the classic A Hog on Ice, and other curious expression 1948 by Charles Early Funk, the phrase skinning the cat was first seen in around 1848 in America. Nice. As any country boy knows, this means to hang by the hands from a branch or bar. Draw the... What the fuck is this? Okay, so... use fucking normal words, I would say.
Soft, medium, soft, or soft, medium, hard. Verstappen and Norris both went for the soft, medium, soft strat.
Or maybe instead of skinning a cat, maybe you can use other phrases that sounds equally bad. That still will just be weird.
So they were sort of pretty much there at neck and neck. McLaren had built that offset.
There are more ways to kill people. Okay. There are more ways to drop a stone on a cat. There's many ways how you can burn a cat. I mean, yes, but why? Why not skinning just a cow? Why a cat? I mean, I feel like the expression becomes weird. It's like, sure, you can skin a cat more ways, but why do you first want to skin a cat? What reason do you have? I mean, at least skin a dog. Fuck the dog.
But you can look at where the race was lost with Norris at the start, which is where Verstappen says he won it, and the final stint when
superior.
Norris was closing in. It just wasn't happening at the rate of knots enough, and I think, you know, I make notes lap after lap of the gap between the front
more
two,
fish for the collection.
and I think it got to a point about lap 53 where I saw the gap had only come down by, you know, like about 0.3, which is a decent chunk, but I'd written down it's not going to happen, Verstappen's won it, and it didn't come
and
down.
all thanks to fucking George Russell. There are more ways to skin on George Russell. You can use a knife, you can use... Yeah, what else can you use?
Down much further than that. It came down to about, it came down another 3 seconds, but that's not enough.
Yeah, what was it? At certain points, it was, you know, coming down by 0.5, 0.6 of a second, then it started to plateau a bit, didn't it? Well, Phil, you're out there. You've been able to see the drivers, talk to the drivers, presumably hear what they've had to say. What has Lando Norris's demeanour been like? Because we are seeing a different Lando Norris.
Yeah, we're seeing a Lando Norris that is now shifted his expectations. He's no longer happy with third, as he said in the race. Like, are we going for first
One more.
or for third? And he's very much now thinking about, how do I win this race? Because he's got the car to do so. And, well, we know Lando as a bit of a glass half empty kind of person. So he's always going to be very self-critical and critical of...
Glass half empty. That sounds like the glass had nothing in it, but okay.
Of the team and what could have been. But yeah, his perspective has shifted into, you know, I want to fight for wins every single weekend, because now McLaren has given me the car that I can do it with. So if something happens like the start,
One more.
which he feels he made a mistake, then he's going to be slating himself for that. That's sort of his mentality, his nature. We've seen that in the past as well. So yeah, he's got a winning mentality, as you should have. So he will be disappointed.
Did Lewis Hamilton also have that? Or have he maybe lost it since 2022 started?
With second now, that is now his new reality.
One victory, 4 second places and the 4th place in the last 6 Grand Prix for Lando Norris. For McLaren, it's been a brilliant upturn of form, hasn't it? What has Max Verstappen said then about the race? He seemed to be pretty happy. I mean, he's on top of the podium, he's winning, and I think he acknowledged they didn't have the quickest car, JBL.
Yeah, I think, and he's not the only driver that said that. Carlos Sainz has also said that the McLaren's the quickest car.
I mean, what do you mean quickest car? George Russell, eller Max Verstappen got past George Russell, Lando Norris didn't. I feel like he made the car fastest.
Norris said that we were the fastest today. So that's kind of where the wind seems to have changed towards. But the thing is, when you look at McLaren, obviously the McLaren Lando Norris combination is incredibly strong, but it's not as compelling at this moment compared to Red Bull and Max Verstappen, which is a pair.
Why did you mention Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes? Isn't that a really compelling team up, team synergy?
That has won so much over the last few seasons, so they know how to do it. They know how to go and get that result, even if they don't have the fastest car, and it's something that they've been doing for a long time now. I think, yeah, again, going back to the start, getting ahead of Norris was very, very important. So you had the two cars going down into turn 1 side by side. Verstappen touches.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's so I hate this so much. Why did George Russell ruin the race? Well, did we ever see Lando Norris? Yeah, he must have led the. Yeah, he did. When he drove more on the tires, he led the race. But holy fuck! Couldn't it be that Max Verstappen went in a pit stop, Lando Norris led, and then when he went in, Max Verstappen led, and then Max went in, Norris led. I mean, and it was they were behind each other all the time. But no, George Russell ruined everything.
The grass a little bit, and so there's a little bit of loss of momentum there, but ultimately still threads the needle. That was key point number one. And the second one, he says, was making sure that he didn't take too long to pass George Russell. And so, you know, obviously the early laps are kind of dictated a little bit by tyre saving and that kind of thing. Degradation was really, really high around the circuit of Barcelona, Catalonia. So it was a difficult one to manage, and you've got to get that quite right. And that's why he couldn't take too long, because, you know, the longer it's drawn out, the more difficult it's going to be, because he's facing a load of dirty air, tyres are overheating. So throw caution to wind a little bit, get a good exit out turn 13, 14, and just, you know, stick the DRS on. Staying within DRS range was crucial, and got the job done. So that was the other one. Then from there, with clean air, time management, that's, you know, the world's your kind of your oyster, really. So for Verstappen, that's why it was a lot easier than the job Norris had to do.
What about George Russell there? You just sort of touched on his first corner overtake. That was a very impressive move, wasn't it, Phil? And George then...
Impressive. I mean, Lando Norris braked more, so Russell got easily past, and then Max Verstappen didn't crash into him. So, what do you mean impressive? I mean, I would say it's impressive that he didn't touch the Ferrari when he drove like he did.
Then had that battle with Lando Norris a little bit later on.
One more fish for the collection. And a scare mad. Go away.
It was very impressive. It's not something we saw coming.
One more fish for the collection.
I think everybody, at least I was, focused on Max versus Lando. Max pushing Lando, Lando pushing Max towards the grass a little bit. And then, yeah, Russell had a mega run off the two. And
That I was saying. When I saw that, I was like, the fuck, where did George Russell come from? With that speed? Did he have a boost in the car? He just got past them super easy.
Swooped past, so that was quite exciting. I spoke to George afterwards. He said that was the start I dreamed of. But then, yeah, I think you saw later on that he just didn't really have the pace to keep either of them at bay, really.
True.
It shows that Mercedes are close. They are not at the level of Red Bull or McLaren, but they do seem to have confirmed on a couple of different circuits now that their recent upgrades have delivered. So that is encouraging to see. It's now very...
Yeah, they are better P4 than they were before. So they are still P4. They're still behind Red Bull, McLaren and Ferrari. What the upgrade.
Very close between them and Ferrari, and depending on the circuit, maybe it'll swing a little bit more. Maybe they'll both move towards Red Bull and McLaren as well.
It doesn't matter, they're still bad.
Really cool start from Russell. That was nice. Very combative. Is it the smart thing to do to take out a lot out of your tyres and battle a quicker car in Norris? Maybe not, but we want to see a motor race, and that was nice to see.
2, 3, 4, 5 corners, something like that, wasn't it, JBL, that we saw Russell and Norris going at it, and that was fantastic racing because it was good, honest racing. It was racing that wasn't dirty. It was just two drivers really going at it, and it was a real pleasure to watch.
Yeah, it's just two drivers that really respect each other, two drivers that have raced each other for a very, very long time. You know, I remember...
Who? Lando Norris and Max?
Back in my days as Formula 2's press officer, having to watch them do battle there. So yeah, so it was a good ding dong between.
And when the fuck did that happen?
Obviously Norris won out just by, I think, boxing a little bit clever, really, in turn 5, just knowing that Russell was going to steam up down the inside, so going for the cutback option, knowing that he was going to get the traction into turn 6 and 7, playing the patient game. It was always going to happen eventually because the McLaren driver just had
yeah, that happened. But George Russell did a move that maybe ruined everything for him. So when the corner comes, really bad, and Norris can just almost pass him. I don't know, did he pass him 100% or did he have to fight for it some more turns and then he got past? But I believe Norris got more easily past because Russell wanted to. I didn't feel like Norris was even close, and Russell tried to block or do something.
That little bit more pace, but watching two drivers race each other rather than go, we're just going to do our race and back out of it, which we see too much in contemporary Formula One because it's not in the data plan. It was just refreshing.
And for Mercedes, it's nice to see them actually fighting for things, isn't it? Because
it is not. It's nice to see McLaren, Ferrari, and Red Bull up there, not fucking Mercedes. Aston Martin was also nice to see. So no, not Mercedes.
Look at Lewis Hamilton. There was a moment nearer the end of the Grand Prix where Lewis was on softs. I think that George was on hards at that point. There, it was a different strategy, and Lewis was questioning whether he should be given that place because I think he felt he had the pace, and then he had to almost overtake George under his own steam, didn't he? That George wasn't going to give him the place, so Lewis had to go and get it. Now, Phil, being there in Barcelona and seeing that happen and the response of the drivers and the fans around, I'm sure it was greeted with a big cheer as well because there's still a lot of love for Lewis Hamilton in Formula One. Do you think that...
For some reason, I don't know.
It's probably a really simple question,
sure.
A yes, one answer thing, but would Lewis Hamilton have taken a huge amount of pleasure from that he beat his teammate? He's going to be leaving, obviously, Lewis going off to Ferrari and getting his...
I mean, maybe, but George Russell still got the first podium this season.
First podium of the season.
Well, I won't just leave you hanging with a simple yes, Bryn, but that is pretty much it. I mean, a lot has been made about, is Lewis going to be treated
also, he got also pole position this season
fairly. Obviously had this really bizarre email chain and people suspecting foul play, but there's, as Toto Wolff says, I'm not saying you need to trust everything a team boss says all the time, but there is no reason for Mercedes to leave points on the table when they're fighting with 3 other teams for every single point. So,
well, why do they make so bad car then? If they are focused on fighting the other teams, why do they make such a bad car then?
Yes, they are desperate to finish on a high with Lewis.
And I will not.
Definitely a lot of fancy, a lot of cheers whenever he was introduced, whenever he made a move as well. He does deserve a good send-off with Mercedes for the 12 years that he's been there, and know that Mercedes has a car that can possibly win a race later this year.
No.
It might be, it might be a good fitting ending to that story rather than
that
fizzling out.
Given that he was on different tyres to George, though, JBL, do you think that it was a wiser move maybe for George just to let him through?
I think yes and no. Obviously, from the team perspective of trying to make sure that Lewis doesn't lose too much time, then yes, obviously. But they were on 2 different strategies and they were trying to make one work over the other. And so you don't really want to give George the situation where he's got obviously what turns out to be the worst strategy, and have to add insult to injury and let Hamilton by as well. I think there was still room for the hard side to sort of come on song, and perhaps the softs would wear off a little bit. But either way, the move was done. It was done relatively cleanly. So. To be honest, I'd rather let them sort of race themselves and sort it out on track.
Yeah, you do that.
Strategy, then. Are we saying?
Oh no crash between Russell and Hamilton happened. That was so boring.
Verstappen said as he was doing his radio message to his team that they weren't the quickest car, but they got the strategy calls correct. Now, are we saying that obviously there was one strategy that was better than the others? This split strategy, JBL, how does it work in principle? How does it work out in principle? Are we saying that maybe Mercedes and Ferrari got it spot on, got it wrong by mixing the strategy the way they did?
I think, well, as Phil's kind of already said, the soft, medium, soft was clearly the way to go. And it was all a legacy. Again, as Phil said, it's what you did in that first stint. And you can kind of see that with the two Ferraris, actually. Both drivers were told to save tyres a little bit. Sainz did, arguably the worst job of the two doing that and didn't save tyres for a couple of laps at all. So that gravitated him towards a much shorter soft stint. And so you're either compensating in your medium stint or you've got to take a hard at the end. And the tyre sort of delta, because we had the three hardest compounds this weekend, and the tyre delta was, pretty high. You were going to get a lot of time out of the soft tyres, but again, drop-off was quite high. So it sort of depends where your strategy is, basically, and if you can extend that soft stint, and that's basically, what you saw all the front runners doing. Well, it's what you saw Max doing. That's what you saw Lando doing to a kind of greater extreme. And so that gives you the best possible chance later in the race when the fuel's burned off. It's a little bit easier to manage those mediums longer into the race, and then it's a little bit easier to manage the soft tyres at the end, which is what you saw Norris continuing to push and Max being able to respond to that. So yeah, again, it sort of depends what the drivers do. Obviously, if you've got an opportunity where it's not clear cut and you are gonna split, then it's a good thing to do. But one driver's always going to be worse off, so you're kind of hedging your bets a little bit. I mean, that's the wonderful world of F1 strategy, isn't it? You're not entirely sure what's going to happen until it does.
One more fish for the collection.
Will always be unhappy.
Strategist saying do this, and the driver doesn't do that, and then the strategy has to be changed, and the driver then unhappy because the strategy's changed. It's that whole kind of chicken and egg situation, I suppose. But talk about Carlos Sainz for a second then, because he had that overtake from his teammate Leclerc into turn one. They did touch, he ran wide, he then passed off track in theory. So what's the general thought there? Because I watched that and thought, well,
one more.
He was on the outside of turn one, there was contact, and he passed essentially off track. Should he have given the place back? Are you happy with that? What's the thought process going on there, Phil?
I don't really have a strong opinion on it. It's mainly, the thing is, if you get touched, then you feel like you were forced to go off track. So it's not like you did because you wanted to. So it's a tough one to judge. Clearly, Sainz didn't give Leclerc a whole lot of space. Not to say not enough space, and Charles was very unhappy about it. And he said, like, maybe Carlos is trying to be the hometown hero and is being a bit more aggressive, trying to get a good result.
Actually, true.
And there probably is some of that because he's also
one more
fighting
fish
for his career still in a way. Although I think he probably has a good idea what he's going to do. But it's this dynamic, isn't it? Of Ferrari fighting each other a little bit harder than maybe they were doing in the past. Carlos and Charles get on really well off the track, but I feel like on the track is getting ever more feisty between the two.
Yeah, and Charles did end up with front wing damage as a result of it, only a little bit, but there was that touch with Sainz's rear right tyre. Sainz said that he was entitled to space because he was ahead at the corner, and it's like, yeah, that's true, but if you're you could say the same if you'd outbraked yourself and just steaming into the corner, you're never going to make it, but you could say you were ahead. But the reason why Sainz didn't, get told to give the position back was, I think there was a directive over the race weekend. I think it's been the same over the last few races as at Barcelona as well. They've got that track, the runoff sort of around the bollard. And I think they basically developed that to create a similar time delta, if not make it a little bit slower. And Sainz did go around that and preserve the position. I don't think Ferrari were going to fight that too hard because, you got two drivers on different strategies. They're not going to go switch it around because at that moment in time, Sainz was maybe a little bit quicker. But that was also the point, which I spoke about earlier, where Sainz was taking a little bit too much out of the tyres. And so basically sort of gave himself the worst strategy, so it sort of came back to bite him eventually.
Yeah. Small gains when there's a long-term game plan going on. Just quickly on Carlos Sainz though as well, because he's still just cork in the bottle of where's he going to go. He's going to release certain other drivers around, and we're going to know a lot more when this part of the puzzle falls into place. It's getting a bit dull waiting for this announcement of where is Carlos Sainz going to go. I mean, Where is he going to go? When are we going to find out? And when can we all move on with our lives, JBL?
What's his name? Andrew Newey goes out and say, I will join Williams. Then Carlos Sainz will 100% join Williams. If Andrew Newey doesn't go out and say he will join Williams, he will go to Audi. So we are waiting. We are actually not waiting on where Carlos Sainz will go. Oh no. We're waiting where Andrew Newey will go. God damn it, airtime.
Ibland, när du tar dig till platser dit ingen ska följa dig, är det just det.
I think it's. He spoke about this in the press conference. Actually, he said that he intends to make a decision very soon because he doesn't want to wait forever. And
yeah, he said something out. He's focused so much on where he should go that it's taking up too much space of thinking. So he's almost being worse off actually waiting. I mean, long term, it will maybe be good that he waited. But short term, it's bad for him.
I think there's a few drivers, let's say, behind him in the pecking order saying, Jesus Christ, Carlos, like, come on, make a choice, because that affects their livelihoods as well. So I think, in the next few weeks, next few races, maybe, we might hear something. I don't know when that's going to be. Phil might have a little bit more information here, but that seems to be what the general noise is anyway.
Yeah, I would expect a lot of movement before Silverstone, so before this triple header is over. Because as JBL said, there are a lot of drivers sort of the next dominoes in line. Not quite as JBL said, like, come on, get it.
Oh, let's see. I'm gonna... Oh, shit. I think never done this. Oh my god. Need to fix something. Where do we have it? And then we go on this one. Now, man. Now it should be more good. Okay, continue.
It over with though. Speaking to Valtteri earlier, that was pretty much the gist of what he was saying. These guys all get the same questions every week, and their answer is kind of, well, I have to wait until Carlos signs for Williams or he signs for Audi.
But it's Carlos Sainz that can make the decision. So when Carlos Sainz is saying, "Well, I hope that we're able to make the decision soon," like, you're the one. You're the one that's making the decision. So it's make the decision and just get on with it.
Oh man. He's waiting on Andrew Newey, 100%.
I think there's a lot of commercial things to tie up.
Oh my, come on. Please mention at least Andrew Newey. Maybe go into Williams.
I'm sure it's not just all about money, but there's certainly a consideration.
Andrew Newey.
It's not just a short-term decision either. It's not just looking at 2025 and seeing what's competitive. It's also making a judgment call about 2026. Is Audi where it wants to be with its engine project? Williams as a customer team of Mercedes, is that going to be in a good position? And is James Vowles making the right moves that are going to attract someone of Sainz's caliber? Or is the Audi project looking, good and they're quietly confident? These are all of the things in Sainz's consideration. And he's not had much time of late to think about it. So hopefully he's been able to have that sit down, put pen to paper on something, and then we can hear about something soon, and then we get to work out where the other dominoes are falling.
Hey, what better time to have time to sit down in clarity when it's a triple header? It makes perfect sense to me. Absolute sense. Oh no,
No,
it
try
doesn't.
them.
Sorry, absolute sarcasm just there. But it is frustrating. Carlos can make up his mind at some stage. Hopefully the pieces will fall into place soon, so we can all move on with it and stop this broken record from spinning. One broken record then that has clearly ended, and that is Alpine. They have certainly turned a corner. They've had points finishes in the last 3 Grand Prix.
And Mr. Cash-Up RB Formula 1 team turned the other way.
2 Grand Prix, they finished 9th and 10th. It seems like they are now moving themselves into 5th place in the 5th best team on the grid. Is that what's happening? Is it an anomaly?
Nah.
What's happened?
Mr. Cash-Up RB Formula 1 team will hopefully know what the problem was, and then they will be back.
To Aston Martin. What's the capital of Peru? So many questions to get through.
Aston Martin, I
Phil,
don't know.
Start with the latter, work backwards.
Honestly, it's almost, I don't want to discredit Alpine because they've obviously executed the weekend well with both drivers, no drama, at least not on track. Some questionable allowances that they made this week that we may or may not get into, but they had a good weekend on
One
the
more
track.
fish
All
for the
credit to
collection.
them. However, it does feel like they benefited massively from other teams not getting their act together rather than them doing something special. Alpine do not have upgrades, and they won't have any upgrades anytime soon. Definitely not this triple header. Maybe by Spa they'll have something, but they are not really improving all that much. But definitely Aston Martin, just not at the races, and then especially RB, who were actually challenging Aston Martin and even overtaking them in the pecking order. They have had a nightmare weekend that they are still trying to get to the bottom of why they're just weren't competitive with their new upgrades. So I think it's more of a case of it being a relative game and seeing Aston and RB both shuffle backwards rather than Alpine doing something extraordinary with their cars.
But with that in mind then, JBL, Aston Martin stagnating, other teams making improvements, which means that Aston Martin are going backwards, and Fernando Alonso at his home Grand Prix lapped. It doesn't look good for Aston Martin.
No, it doesn't, and stagnated is absolutely the right word there, because performance has regressed, and they have had updates, not massive ones, but they have had them, and it just seems to be a perennial struggle to get them to unlock them, and I'm not entirely sure. It seems to be this sort of
Man. Yeah, but hopefully they will be back. And hopefully also Stroll will not be in the team. But man, that's so weird to see them. I mean, they were... Let's see, if we go... see, can we do the results? Drives. No, where do I go? Don't you go to... Well, yes, it should be. And then I click that race, and then we go to... And it's so weird to see Aston Martin. Let's see, where do we have them? 14 and 12. Not even in points. How far have Aston Martin even fallen now? At least they are not equally bad as Visa Cash Up or the Formula 1 team, but man, for some reason they are nowhere now.
antithesis of McLaren, really, in recent years. Probably, certainly last year they built the better sort of out of the box car, but then upgrades sort of came in. It took a really long time to.
Also, an upgraded Mercedes have still not done, and people are hyping up Mercedes. They are back now. Yeah, when they do that kind of upgrade like McLaren did last year, then I would say yes, they are back. Until then, they are not fucking back, and Mercedes will not win a race.
Sort of actually get anything out of them, and they had that sort of weird phase in Mexico and Austin where they were doing very, very sort of public. That was almost writing off 2 entire race weekends to kind of test some bits.
Also, as long as Stroll is in Aston Martin, they will also not be good enough.
So there just seems to be this lag between putting something on the car and getting it sort of dialed in and ready for the next thing, because by the time they've got something dialed in, that's the time the next upgrade's coming, and they've only just got to the bottom of the previous one. So there needs to be some kind of fix in place for kind of that discrepancy. And yeah, again, Spain was sort of the point last year where things kind of fell.
Yeah, fuck me. Alonso had a bad Spain race last year also. Man, did Alonso have any good race in Spain? I wanna see. Okay, he finished 12th this season. Let's see, can we go to next? Go back. Season. I want to see, where do we have Spain? There is Spain. Where did Alonso end up? Oh, nice. Nick de Vries. Oh my god, Landon Norris. The fuck happened there? The time when McLaren still was bad. Oh, Fernando Alonso. Oh my god, he got at least points that race. Can we go to... Okay, so he had a good race. Just qualifying was really bad. What? Oh, Prix. Okay. I really thought it... Wait, did I have a... Was Spain in the beginning? No, here we have Spain. Results. Where do we have Fernando Alonso? 9th. In Alpine Renault. So, okay, I thought he had a bad race last year. But apparently, nope, he had actually a good race. This year, it was terrible.
Off a little bit for Aston Martin.
Well, he had bad qualifying, so he had something bad last year.
And it's just really not been at the races at all today. And just to sort of circle back to Alpine, I think it's probably surprised the team as well how well they've done, because Bruno Famin was talking on Friday that he did not expect the team to be in the hunt for points at all. So to come away with 3.
Yeah, that's amazing. 3 points. They did no upgrades, did nothing. For some reason got points. And now they, before Haas, in a construction ship.
In a race
Come on, give me some fishes.
Had no retirements or attrition or anything like that. That's a pretty good return for a team that wasn't expecting it. So I think there's just a few teams that have put upgrades on the car and just haven't really understood how to get the best out of them, basically.
Yeah, and with Aston Martin, it doesn't completely come out of the blue either, because you also have to put it into context of the circuits that we've been to. So Aston Martin are particularly struggling to keep that car balanced through sort of the longer flowing corners, which obviously Barcelona has quite a few of. But then, for example, Canada didn't have any. So that was a circuit that suited Aston Martin really well, and that's where they got double points. So it is sort of this run of circuits that's coming up that is not going to be that kind to them, possibly. So they are really up against it in terms of trying to bring those high downforce, sort of, those fixes for particular weekends that they have at the moment. But it is starting to become a little bit alarming. I mean, yesterday Fernando Alonso said, well, this is actually better than we expected. So
No! Fernando Alonso! What do you mean? Is this the better? Oh my god. Man, what is Aston Martin doing? I mean, Lawrence Stroll can just waste more money on a team that he then wastes money to have Lance Stroll in. That will be interesting question. Can the team perform so badly that Lawrence Stroll will lose all interest to keep the team, to pay for the team. And you're saying, now, Lance Stroll, I would not pay more for this team. Either you become good, or you will leave the sport, because I'm not paying for this anymore.
He said that with a wry smile, but then today, as he's savouring when getting lapped at his own race, he sort of, the mask sort of fell off, and he said, like, you know, it's time for less talk and more action. You know, he's starting to run out of...
Oh shit, maybe write on a contract a little too early.
patience, I feel.
But what about elsewhere? I mean, RB, okay, you mentioned...
Visa Cash App RB Formula 1 team. Come on, say the name right.
RB a few moments ago, actually. Let's talk about RB for a second, because ignoring this Grand Prix, ignoring Spain, they've scored in the last 4 Grand Prix. Sonoda 3 times, and Ricciardo scored once out of those 4 scoring positions there. So...
didn't he get... what? Ricciardo! Let's find out this fucking fake news. Drivers. Where do we have Ricciardo? Ricciardo. He have 9 points. Okay, 9 points. Then we go to... let's see, we go to... okay, first we go to Spain. So we... where is Ricciardo? 15. Okay, here we have 4 points in Canada. Then, if I remember right, 4 points. Where do we have? And then, okay, we need to go to the sprint. And here we have 5 points. Okay, we had 4 before. We have 5 now. So it should be 9. And if we go to this information, it say 9 points. And the fuck did it say?
And Ricciardo, this Grand Prix, ignoring Spain, they've scored in the last 4 Grand Prix. Sonoda 3 times, and Ricciardo scored once out of those 4 scoring positions there.
He scored once. Yeah, I 100% fucking agree on that. Continue.
So,
the one that also can't say Visa Cash App RB Formula 1 team.
is it unfair to say that RB are having a bit of a wobble again, or is it just it's a season-long wobble with a couple of glimmers of hope along the way?
I believe this was just a race fuck up, like Red Bull have done in Singapore, Monaco. No, did they fuck up any more race? They will probably be back again. Hopefully. But it's like they go from being good from being really bad. I mean, the car is already good. The stuff they put on the car was either really bad or they didn't know how to use it.
That think we've turned the corner and then bang, they go backwards again. What's happening, JBL?
It's funny because in pre-season testing we were calling it clearly the 6th best car, and I think it probably still is, to be honest.
It is.
Just where the team is in the championship. Sonoda has been...
I mean, all this fucking coupe in the Mercedes is back. That can always happen. But because Visa Cash App RB Formula 1 team did 1 race bad, they are now 100% bad. What a fucking lolly. He's so fucking retarded.
Best. Well, he's
one good race, they are back. One
count,
bad race, they are gone.
In the points. So clearly the sort of best of the rest, let's say. But there just seems to be this big disconnect with this circuit, with the upgrades that they put on the car. this is the first sort of real, let's say, long radius, high speed corner circuit that we've been to.
No, and it's maybe the worst layout for the team.
And RB,
or the
let's
car.
just say, we've not seen whether it's a strength or not of theirs. They've been sort of very, very good in low speed. We know that that's where their strength is. I think last season we were all sort of saying in the paddock that with a floor upgrade that they brought to Abu Dhabi, they were the best in slow speed corners overall. I think that might have been a bit of hyperbole, but clearly that's a strength. And a long radius corner requires something very, very different. It's not just a sort of about peak downforce, an absolute snap. It's how you build that downforce. And maybe it's just the car just isn't able to quite do it in the same way as perhaps the Red Bull is or anything like that. You can't make a car that works in every condition.
They will not be back.
You winning every single race. So, yeah, I think that's basically where they are. Maybe Barcelona wasn't a strength for them. I think maybe with those upgrades as well.
Also, by the way, I think this is the second time they say Ricciardo just scored one time. Where did that news come from? He clearly scored in fucking the sprint race in Miami. Or did everyone forget that? Man, the believers.
Hasn't quite worked out, haven't quite dialed them in, quite hasn't, doesn't have the data on them, let's say. But, it's one step back for two forward, let's say. And I think they should be a lot stronger as the season goes on, certainly, because, again, last year that hit rate was actually pretty impressive, so it might just be a blip.
Fair enough. We'll have to see what happens next.
Fair
time
enough,
Austria,
yeah. One more fish
a
for
good
the
circuit for Red
collection.
Bull. It always seems to be when Max is involved.
Oh my god. Give me more fishes. Taking so much long time. Still fucking more fun than Hearthstone can ever be. Fucking dad the game.
So, what about then two other stories that just came about really? One is the motorhome fire. Phil, you're out there. The motorhome hub fire for McLaren. That hit the headlines.
I know nothing about that.
Some very, very big words used, a lot of descriptive words that maybe oversold it somewhat. But, I mean, tell us what the feeling was like around there and the impact it had on McLaren. Seemed to be a lot of teams rallying around them, which was nice to see.
Yeah, some of us were actually...
What are you talking about? No, but no.
When it happened, because McLaren held this little media breakfast thing on Saturday morning, and towards the end, so just before midday, the lights went out and we were kindly but very firmly asked to vacate the premises. And then as we left the building, we saw smoke pouring up from the back, where sort of the kitchen is. Turned out to be quite severe, because they couldn't immediately locate where the fire was, so it was very hard to put out. It looks like it was in between two floors, so it was a bit hard to get to as well. Thankfully, everybody seems to be okay. A few people were treated for smoke inhalation. They all seem to be fine, thankfully. Yeah.
So, do we have any information on what happened? Did Lando Norris try to make some food? Did Oscar Piastri try to make something?
Yeah, it was quite scary. And it is an issue. I mean, especially with triple header now, it's quite a logistical nightmare for them. It looks like they'll be able to use it again in the future, but not necessarily because it will go back for repairs.
Yeah, I read that they're hoping to bring it back for your second home Grand Prix, the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa. Two more Spanish Grand Prix are going to be held in Barcelona. It's the first one since it was announced it's going to move to Madrid. Just where do you feel Barcelona sits in the calendar? How fond are you of it in the moments over the years? Where do you rate it?
How do I put this charitably? It is an F1 circuit, and we are lucky to get to go to F1 circuits in our line of work. Obviously, it's a huge...
Fucking great. Let's see. I want to see. Where is the black tag? Where can I find it? I want to see the difference. Oh shit, here we have a black tag. Oh, it's a Betty. No, Betty. Oh no. Betty is that one, so this must be... Is this the flopper? Yeah, that must be the flopper, so this is... Okay, so let's see, we can... gameplay. Come on. Be close to the other fishes. When you clearly see what the difference between the fishes. What the fuck are you? It may be more easily to see. Stop being so far away. Can you just be with them? Nah, come on. Fuck off. Did not take it up. The fuck happened? This was funny. So it got removed. Man, I wanted to have some fun. Let's see, the fuck happened? Fucking annoying fucking fish. Information, give me some information. Fuck happened? Okay, I see something. The fuck happened? Let's see. Do we have the clayfish? Man, because I was so fucking annoying. Yeah, I could clearly put it down in the grass. Okay, then I pick up the second time or third time. Okay, let's see. Now we come. Yeah, just disappear. Okay, at least we can fix the problem in the most fucking annoying way. We need to go to. Yeah, actually, fuck it. We do it. We do it live. Or maybe not. Yeah, we do. Fuck me. We do this one. The fuck? Why can't I? Come on, where? The fuck is the problem? Why is this working so fucking retarded? I didn't even need to fucking go further than that. I just left the game and went back, and then it was back. Okay, can we maybe try this again so I can get my point across, or will you fuck off again? Also, let's see. So what the fuck is this in the between? The stream unavailable, stream suitable for pulse simulation. Like what? And then it's still, man, such a weird thing. Okay. The flopper fish, the Lewis Hamilton flopper fish. Fuck off, dolphin. Oh, fuck me, you're scared to see that's starting. Okay. Okay, so my point is, you can clearly see this is a clay fish. The fuck do we have? The go fuck yourself. Stopping this fucking annoying. Okay, when you see them side by side. Let's see if I can fucking. Okay, now we screenshot. We did a screenshot. Let's see if we can do this more. Screenshots. I don't know what other fish I did this with. Let's see if I can. Oh, the batty ones also. Oh my god, I can show two different screenshots. We need paint. Or what is called is paint. And then we put this up, and then we put this up. And then we go, we change that to this one. Done. And then we zoom in. Maybe we need to have this. So here we can clearly see this is a flopper and this is a clayfish. The clayfish have this stuff out and the batty doesn't. And you can maybe say this is somewhat bigger and this is smaller. So just seeing them fast, you will probably not see the difference. But if you maybe like me, you can clearly see something with this fish is something wrong. It must be a new fish. When you see this, nothing is that. And then we can go to even the batty. Should be this one. Here you see, here's the flopper and here's the batty. And then you see this. Yeah, you see the other batties. They have this thing that goes from the tail into the middle and then out from the other tail. And this difference I saw when I saw this fish between the flopper fish. The details is really important to. And I don't know. I still don't know. I mean, I will. Is the black tang the version of? I mean, I believe because in the information I've heard from someone that maybe know more. This is the flopper's version of black flopper. So it will not be because this is black batty, the other one is black clayfish. So it will not be on black flopper. It will always be a black tang. If the information that I heard is right. because then it will be so annoying to trying to get the right version of the black flopper when there's already exists black flopper called black tang. But yeah, go away. Let's change it back, and hopefully we can pick it up without any problems, and then we can continue listen to this stuff. Clayfish for the collection. Man, that made me. Why did it disappear? Oh my god. Was almost about to fucking. I don't know. Skin a cat. Such a weird phrase. Okay. Continue.
John to be doing this job, but it's just become a little bit dated, unfortunately. I think facilities wise, certainly. I think that extends to fans and to people who work there as well. And I think ultimately it sort of needed a little bit of a refurb a while ago, and that's not really ever happened. And that we've got somewhere in Madrid that it's not quite purpose built, but it's going to be, you know, sort of like relatively sort of street adjacent circuit.
Oh yeah, they're talking about the track in the new track in Spain that will be in the fucking street race. Man, Formula 1 and fucking street races. The fuck is happening? It's like, where do this fucking hype come from? Or why? I mean, I have heard saying that it's more easy to get to the circuit if it in a city. Okay, and also more easy to get to. Okay, is it more easy to sit in, to watch, to do anything? Probably not. It will probably be the worst, the biggest nightmare ever. But no, we must do it.
With, you know, what one would expect would be sort of relatively decent sort of mod cons and that kind of thing. I think if Barcelona had sort of really wanted to keep the circuit on the Formula 1 calendar, they might have invested in facilities a little bit, and and it's sort of had a weird history as well of just chopping and changing the layout, having that horrible little chicane at the end of the circuit that was really good for pre-season testing because it sort of told us a little bit about low speed performance, but that was about it. The fact that they took it into race weekends was just horribly fiddly, changing turn 10 on a whim every couple of years. It's a circuit that's not really
was it a good change or not?
Formula 1 as anything other than that's a test circuit we go to, and we use it now as a sort of a yardstick
one more fish for the collection.
We've come in
2 more. No,
months. It's not a particularly good racing circuit. It's decent for bikes because of the sort of corner radiuses and that kind of thing. But it's not it's not what I would say is a sort of classic F1 circuit.
No, but
there'll be people who
street
miss it,
races.
and there are a couple of corners on there that are pretty cool. Like, you know, Camps is pretty cool, 10-3 is pretty cool, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be in Germany. I've heard they have 2 tracks that can maybe be used. The fucking street tracks in USA and other places.
It's a very frustrating circuit in a way because it's got a good enough circuit, but it hasn't updated its facilities enough. And the frustrating thing is that actually now they are starting to get things together. I think this was probably the best edition I've been to in the past 10 years. Facility-wise, transportation, logistics, traffic coming into the race was a lot better than it was last year. There was a plan agreed 2 years ago for around 50 million of investment. The frustrating thing is that things only started happening after or during the Madrid talks. So Madrid was announced, and now suddenly Barcelona is starting to really improve and get his act together. But there is a feeling that it's a bit.
I mean, maybe too late, but better than nothing. I mean, if they wanna stay, shouldn't they still do it?
Too little, too late. Will Barcelona be able to rotate with one of the other existing races? Maybe, but it is frustrating because has been a good event this weekend, and we're going to have 2 more, and that might be it.
Feels a bit like a jilted lover, doesn't it? Promise that I will change. I'll start making the bed. I'll do the washing. Please don't leave me. And it's all a little bit too late. It's a shame, though, because, I mean, there's been some good races. I thought today was actually not a bad one, but I'll leave this with you two gents then. If you could rate it out of 10, however you want to rate it, just give me a number and explain why.
5.
Your scores out of 10 for the Grand Prix we witnessed today, JBL?
I'll give it a 5, I think. It was pretty... It felt very 5-y, didn't it? Very sort of middle of the road. Wasn't the worst race we've had this season by any stretch, but not the best either.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with JBL. A 5 seems about right, which seems like a bit of a cop-out, but it was interesting enough from a stretch.
The only good thing I would say with the race that it had 2 pit stops. Made some more happen. I mean, not a lot happened on the track, or the new tires for the people made it more easily to overtake. But they made something happen. Made it interesting. Then just one stop and then it's just sitting and waiting.
Strategical point of view for those who are into that sort of thing, like poor old JBL and me. If you were a fan of drama at the end and surprise winners, then clearly Max winning isn't going to tickle that. So I understand if people give it a 2 or a 3, but to me there was enough to pay attention to find some enjoyment.
Enough, but man, only the top 10. The last 10 was nothing.
5 out of 10. Watch the highlights. There you go. Don't sit and watch the entire race again. Watch the highlights. So there you go. That's what it was, really, wasn't it? Max Verstappen didn't start on pole. He took not an early lead.
And he got one more win from someone else's pole. Maybe after Charles Leclerc had given him so many poles to victory, maybe it's time for Norris to do the same.
I suppose it was 3rd lap, but he fell back a bit. He took that lead on the 3rd lap, then held it all the way pretty much to the end, although Norris was pushing him. Look, gents, thank you very much indeed. Well, with that all done, here are what the championship points look like right now. Max Verstappen extends his lead at the top, 219 points. He's 69 points ahead of Lando Norris, 2nd place for the McLaren driver. Charles Leclerc just ahead of his teammate, 3rd and 4th, 148 to 116 points. Then Sergio Perez, the 2nd Red Bull driver, down in 5th. Then it's Piastri, Russell, Hamilton, Alonso, and Senna.
Or in back, he will be 4th. He will overtake Carlos Sainz one day. Remember the last race, he will overtake in points.
Oda making up the top 10. Lance Stroll with 17 points. Still to score is Zhou Guanyu, Valtteri Bottas and Logan Sargent. The constructors, well, Red Bull lead the way, 330 points, moving 60 ahead of Ferrari. McLaren are closing the gap, 237 now is what they're on. Mercedes.
Oh, Ferrari will soon be over 300. And it will be interesting. Can McLaren get to 300 before Mercedes even get over 200?
151. Then it's Aston Martin, RB, Alpine, Haas, Williams, and yet to score, it's Sauber. Well, that just about does it for our review of the Spanish Grand Prix. Make sure you tune in the same time next week when we turn our...
Did it ever mention that George Russell ruined Lando Norris' chance to win? And I think they did.
Attention to the Austrian Grand Prix and all the happenings over there in Spielberg. Also, make sure you check out episode 4 of the James Allen on F1 podcast, featuring exclusive interviews with Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur and former race engineer Rob Smedley. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw.
No, I will not.
See you next time. Thanks for watching.
I will never. No, maybe one day I will. Yeah, that was Autosport. And I don't know if they actually did the analyze. That's what I thought. But we have. Oh, fuck me. I remember what the fuck we have now. The funniest tweets. Okay, let's see. What kind of funny tweets can be made from the Spanish Grand Prix? Maybe Charles Leclerc, why we doing not A, or why we doing A? Maybe that we can do something funny about. Lando Norris or McLaren had the fire. Could maybe be something funny. Oh my god, what can be more funny? A joke on Leclerc that Max Verstappen won the race from someone else's pole position. Something about Charles Leclerc and Norris touched each other in Q3, not Q3, practice 3. And Stroll and someone else did that too. Lewis Hamilton, I think. What more can be funny? I believe more funny stuff happened in Formula 2 and Formula 3, so... Fucking let's see what funny tweets that will probably not be funny have Nath picked.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the funniest tweets. Today we are...
That's just a lie. Nothing fun. It can maybe be 1 or 2 funny tweets he will pick, but the rest is just, no, it's fucking lame.
Talking, analysing, memeing the Spanish Grand Prix. Yes, we are into a triple header. 5 races in the next 6 weeks, which for me is absolute wonderland as a Formula 1 fan. I hope you're also excited because we have got a finely poised pecking order. Would you not say? Would you not think? I know that Max won again, and I know a lot of people are like, oh no, he's done it again. But it's close.
Yeah, you're retarded. The fuck do you mean we're close? They say that in fucking IndyCar also. It's so fucking close. Every qualifying is so close. Every race is so close. Oh, maybe not the race. And who fucking wins in the end? Yeah, the top 2 teams. The fuck do you talk about close? It's nothing definition close. If it's close, more people will fucking win. So stop fucking lying.
Lando could have won. Mercedes again quicker. We won't talk about Ferrari. Let's get into your memes. Perez struggles.
The struggle. He got to qualify Q3 and he got points. That's not struggle.
Okay, we're going to start with Sergio Perez because there were a few memes that were made about him. And what a...
I mean, he's back. He getting points in the race. And he was in Q3. He's 100% back. 100% worth 2 years.
Strange. I'll say strange. It literally happened last year. It is a carbon copy of what happened last year. We're starting quick and now just falling off the edge of a cliff. What is going on? At FIFA...
With the falling off, he's back. Although he got past Alpine.
NR6. Gamma fight in the race-winning car. Damn, Alpine got hands. Not even Alpine. It was lower than that. It was Aston Martin's. It was...
But that's because he got pushed down. If he will have started where he should have been, then he will not have been there. So don't act like fuck off.
Potentially Williams at one point. It was
Yeah,
definitely stake. And I have no I have no answers. I don't think Perez has any answers. People are convinced that he's getting nerfed and his car's not as quick as Verstappen's.
Like
I
Lewis
don't personally
Hamilton.
believe it, but it is so strange that he just has a really promising first few races, gets his contract signed, and then it just goes off a cliff from there.
No, he got off the cliff one race before the contract and the race after the contract. You can say one race before the DNF Monaco race. But man, you watch the Formula 1, you can't so
I
much.
do genuinely feel sorry for him because I'm sure he is as mystified as we are. At Anjan_PM, Sergio Perez after dragging his RB20 from P11 to P8.
Yeah, where was Ferrari in Canada?
Done for the day. At one point, it looked like he might even struggle to get into the points. But 8th place, that's not going to be good enough. Well, it might be. It depends if the other sort of Ferrari, Mercedes, McLarens take points off each other. But if Perez is sort of meandering towards the back end of the points, and then you've got McLaren potentially mounting a challenge in the Constructors, Max may not be able to carry the entire championship on his own. Of course, he can do the drivers, no issues. He can take on as many teams as he wants on his own. But the teams quite literally need a second driver to constantly pick up some points. Calling all racing fans and Lego Group.
No, go fuck yourself.
Silverstone. Participate in racing-themed challenges, build your own Lego race cars and more. Discover the passion of building and racing with the Lego Group. Available now at Lego stores and online. Ready, set, build. Differing strategies. Okay, we've got quite a few different reactions that are around the strategies.
No, let's see.
Perhaps
Ferrari
drivers being forgotten or trying to understand what the hell was going on during the Spanish Grand Prix. First up is Crispy_Crouton. Leclerc being the last to pit.
Yeah, but was that a bad thing? I mean, he almost got 4th.
Now, good meme, but it's not as if Ferrari were the only team to do that strategy. McLaren did as well with Lando and went very long. Do I want to talk about Ferrari? Not really. I'm a Haas fan now, as you can quite clearly see. Although every time I've worn this Haas shirt, it's not gone very well for the team, because the last time I did that was Monaco. And yeah, we all know what happened to Haas in that race. But back to Ferrari, the upgrades. Do they want to upgrade? That's my question. Do they want to actually make the car quicker? Or
no.
What? Because you get excited, don't you? You get excited if your favourite team, your favourite driver is receiving an upgrade package from their team. You think, well, of course it's going to make...
Oh yeah, Visa Cash App RB Formula 1 team and Aston Martin. That is something you can meme about. What happened with the team?
Quicker than what they've been doing previously. But apparently not. And now Mercedes have somehow got in the mix and slightly faster than Ferrari. And Spain is a benchmark. It's a benchmark track. So feeling really good.
Okay, benchmark to what? Still being behind McLaren and Red Bull. Wow, what an upgrade. Their upgrade is Ferrari being bad. The fuck is that kind of upgrade? And also go way out. That doesn't sound like an upgrade. It sounds like other person did a downgrade. Like Max Verstappen and Red Bull did in Canada. They did a downgrade and still won. Oh shit, one more ad. Okay, let's see. Ferrari, funny tweets, probably not. Fuck off.
At JoeGoat6p, me trying to understand every strategy going on in this race. It was great. I actually really enjoyed.
This is definition funny tweet. No.
The strategy element to it. Of course, it wasn't a banger. I'm not going to try and sell it to you like it was some sort of Canadian Grand Prix from 2024. It wasn't. But obviously, off the back of Canada, everyone's sat there 10 laps in going, God, this is so boring. Now, Formula 1 is in a much better position than we all thought it was going to be after the first round of the season. Let's be real here. We've actually got another team challenging Max Verstappen in that Red Bull. But the strategy element was, it kept a little bit of intrigue at least of, can Lando catch Max on an offset strategy? Have McLaren made the wrong decision here and they're actually going to lose second place as well? You had, of course, the two teammates, I think both Carlos and George were kind of screwed over with that hard tyre. And then, of course, you had Lewis and Charles on the soft. So that was, again, an intriguing element. But I wouldn't give the race any higher than a 6 out of 10. But there was at least something to keep our minds busy. At Ainsley Ferron, Merc, why? Fresh softs, older hards, they're the same speed.
Yeah. Fucking Toto Wolff with his amazing Mercedes team.
Look, they tried something different. I think that there was clearly they didn't know which way would be better. Would it be going longer on the mediums in that middle stint and then going for a quick stint on the end on the softs, or going for a longer hard stint? And very clearly, for both Ferrari and Mercedes, it didn't work. The hard tyres just did not work the way that some teams may have expected, and just had no pace. So you live and you learn, and it's quite clear that the teams had no idea which one to go on, because they both split their strategies, with one driver taking one and the other driver taking the other. So I imagine that...
Did Red Bull also do that? If that's true, go fuck yourself.
Might shush
Complaining
a few
on Perez.
Mercedes sabotage conspiracy theorists, because of course Lewis was the one to get the good pit stop and the good tyres, but it probably won't stop them. At Alex Regensberger, Mercedes Russell strategy for and it turned out to be the...
Yeah, oh shit, something I mentioned. Can it be the Sainz got the worst strategy when he came out so much behind other people?
Wrong strategy to copy. So
the first pit
if
stop.
Ferrari were genuinely like, hey, that's a good idea from Mercedes, it wasn't. And obviously Charles was complaining as well about, why am I still on plan A? Plan A turned out to be very good, actually, Charles, so you might have to go and apologise to our lovely little Scarlet team. Honourable mentions. Okay, we're now into a lovely flourish of mixture of memes. Here we go. First up, Minoru79, the new V-Carb car updates.
Black tank.
Yeah, they brought a lot, but it was for a tractor. Yes, the V-Carb. RB. Why are they the 9th fastest team now? They were picking up points left, right and centre. They come to Spain, which is notoriously... Well, kind of notoriously in the sense it's boring, but famously a benchmark track. So you think, well, RB are going to be good because they've been good at most of the other tracks this year, picking up lots of points.
They were probably.
But no, none of it worked. And it's weird that the upgrades that were brought for Ferrari didn't really work. RB. Stake it did, though, to be fair. But, yeah, the RB became a tractor in that race, and they were nowhere. Turn to page 394, championship back on.
Actually true. Fucking the brainwashed moron believing the champion is on because they're so fucking close, and then the race happened. It's not even close.
I say it in jest, obviously, about championship back on. Although, one slightly wide moment from Max Verstappen, or him maybe on the team radio complaining. I'm straight there, believing Delulu. Of course, Max was struggling this weekend in practice. And what does he go and do? Gets on the front row and wins the race. Without Max Verstappen, I've said this before on Twitch, I think, we are thinking Red Bull are a very slow car. Verstappen is driving at an unbelievable level, and he keeps taking away that balloon of championship back on. Just as we think, maybe, Max just wins
You
again.
think?
At Azurnia, Carlos's reaction, F1 rulebook, this is worthless. Now this was interesting, and I think that maybe Carlos will look back at that incident and realise there was, well, from at least my perspective, there was no contact, or at least the most marginal, tiny little touch, but we couldn't really see that on the camera angle. So he really did kick off about that, which I found quite interesting, considering he got away with going off the track when he was battling Charles into turn 1 and just carrying on and didn't have to give the position back, which I wonder if Ferrari will...
Yeah, the rule book didn't work there either. Maybe he knows. Maybe that's why he mentioned a problem.
But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. 'Cause it's the two Ferrari drivers. But either or, I don't think he has much of a leg to stand on this time about the rule book, because
Do we
it
ever
was a
have?
great move. It really was. So, yeah. I know the rule book does have a lot of questionable moments, but this one wasn't one of them. It's Peter Clark, standard day at the office for Haas. Haas checking their emails. Both cars receiving penalties. K-Mag, of course, getting a penalty once again. Nice little 5 seconds to add to the 1,000 seconds he's had this year. And Hulkenberg as well. Disappointing for him, because they were sort of on the outskirts of the points potentially. But no, Haas just love a penalty. At Cinema Law YT, Haas getting points. Matt with his Haas shirt.
Still funny tweets. Come on, give me something funny.
I know it's the same meme as what we had earlier, but it did make me laugh because, yes, 2 from 2 wearing this Haas shirt and it going terribly for the team. But I was going for the fact that the first time I wore the Haas shirt, Charles Leclerc won the Monaco Grand Prix, so I thought maybe Charles might do a miracle and win Spain. Didn't happen, so sorry, Haas. At Nell_Megan, Max claims another one. Yes, that is indeed now.
Yeah. It's a Norris time to give more pole position to Max Verstappen.
Becoming a trend. It's not just Lec pole the win, it's anyone else pole the win. Sad times, really, because of course Verstappen didn't even
So they could be more funny.
lead into turn 1 because Russell had the greatest start of all time, swung around the outside, and you thought, championship back on, race back on, and Max got through very quickly indeed. And you think, oh my god, Russell's taking the lead, that's amazing. Russell kind of actually ruined that because he then held Lando back a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, George Russell ruined the only thing he could make the race good. The fight between Lando Norris and Max Verstappen. And it never happened because of George Russell being slow.
Otherwise we could have had a banger, or would have Lando just stayed 1.5 seconds behind Max
No.
because he couldn't get any closer because it's Spain? Probably the latter.
It will still be more interesting because then Lando Norris at least tried, or at least was. You will have seen Max Verstappen and Lando Norris together, than not.
At Mr. Idiot, Lando and his first place trophies. He's won a lot of those, and I will say that Max Verstappen absolutely did deserve Driver of the Day this time, and I know that Driver of the Day is for a driver that, to everybody else, either, well, just an underdog, basically, or someone that they don't expect to win. Verstappen had maybe on par the best car, definitely deserved Driver of the Day, didn't get it. Didn't even finish second in the vote. But it's all bants, and Lando won his 5th of the year. Crames 12, so close to a safety car. Logan, no. Of course, it's when Alex Albon went off, spun off on his soft tyres, and you thought, Logan, are you going to beat Alex Albon this time? It's been in the gravel. I think it was about 12 seconds when Alex rejoined to Logan behind. You blinked, Logan's then 20 seconds behind Albon. I know that he's on hards compared to the softs of Alex, but Alex just went in the gravel. Those tyres were not in good nick. At Formula Latest, at the start of the Spanish Grand Prix, Lando, Max, Russell. Of course, Lando.
Come on, please give me something funny.
Max side by side. Bit of a weird grass flew up. Max goes on. Oh my god, I've been pushed off. Chaos there like that, which is the absolute
one more.
perfect recipe for 3rd place, or 4th for George in this matter, to go, oh, well, I'll have a double slipstream. Thank you very much. And it was a beautiful move around the outside. But so
It could end really not beautiful if the Ferrari driver behind was maybe somewhat faster and Russell just move aside and then get caught or touched by the Ferrari. Or if Lando Norris would have not. Spotty lime light blue. And here we have also a fish that looked like the, I don't know what's name the fish I have, but it looked like this fish. Have the same colors. what are... See if we can find it. And also I need to place down the stuff that I have in the inventory. Nope. Oh wait, this... No, the green one. Continue.
So was Max Verstappen's move on George Russell. That was absolutely...
Oh yeah, Lando Norris. He could have... If he didn't brake like he did. Remember, he would like cut George Russell behind him.
Millimeter perfect. So there were some very tasty moves into turn one, you gotta say. Ainsley Ferron, I hate this. Pierre Gasly's 6.7 second pit stop. But Alpine, very promising. Bruno Faman might actually be able to raise a smile. This is much better from both of them, and Gasly might not actually want to leave the team now that they're showing some kinds of progress. But yeah, great work. But not the pit stop, obviously. But the rest of it, point scoring, lovely. At I Erikoff, the Red Bull pit crew. So with Perez, it was like a 3 point, whatever it was, 4 or something. Probably one of their slowest pit stops of the season. You thought, oh, Red Bull, they're not going to do a sub 2 second? Oh, no, they are. But with Verstappen, of course. The one that we're hoping maybe a close battle for the lead. Verstappen just has an absolutely unbelievable pit stop. How do they do it in 1.9 seconds? I will never know. It's unbelievable. Incredible. Red Bull are just the goats of pit stops. McLaren not too far behind, but Red Bull definitely number one. At Papa Cannavaro, turn one Russell be like. He was a rocket ship.
Still no funny tweets.
And then
one could have been funny.
In the race. And finally, turn to page 394.
Oh no, and then the worst tweets
There's a lot of
will soon
confusion as to
come.
which strat mode Verstappen needed to go into. 10 or 2. I'm now wondering how slow his car would have gone had he gone into strat 2. Because I could hear 10 very well, but of course I wasn't in a Formula 1 car with everything else in my ears. But yes, Verstappen did go for the correct strat. 1-0.
Yeah, we have the worst one.
Thomas Tissy tweets sponsored by EA and F124.
Man, I don't understand this fucking sponsor. What the fuck do they sponsor his tweets that he picked? That also is always the worst one.
Oh, Tommy, who has won a gobby this week?
That person is Jan C with this amazing meme, and it's not just
yeah, the funniest thing, first this tweet, this meme was made before. See if we can find it. Where do we have it? There we have it. Okay, 1455. So we have this meme that I would say somewhat more funny. And then somehow the worst tweet is always picked by Tommy. What the fuck? What is funny with this?
Leclerc polls now that Max wins. It's also Norris and Russell ones. So yeah, great use of this meme.
A fantastic use. Well
it
done,
isn't.
Jan or
no,
Jan.
fuck off.
It's literally just going to be anyone that gets pole position. Max Verstappen will win. He is inevitable, even if he doesn't have a dominant car, eh, Tommy? Hey.
Indeed, but he can't win driver of the day. That is reserved for someone else.
Exactly. It's the one thing he cannot win. Thank you very much, Tommy, and well done to Jan C. See you soon.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking for the green, blue fish.
Right, that is it. Thank you so much for watching the funniest tweets to the Spanish Grand
Yeah,
Prix.
fuck off.
It's a back-to-back-to-back, then a week off, then a back-to-back. So we got a lot of races coming, a lot of content. A big thanks to you for getting involved. #P1 if you want to do that next time, next week for Austria. And we'll see you very soon. Lots of love. Bye.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Oh, fuck me. Why are the tweets always so fucking bad? And what do he say is the funniest tweet? I mean, how sad is that? This is what he show is the funniest tweets, and he's so fucking lame. oh, his community is so fucking boring. What the fuck is happening? Hey, it's more funny to watch fucking Peter Windsor. And he doesn't even try to be funny sometimes. He just is funny. He just mentions something slightly interesting that you can also see as funny. Just because he wanted to say something that he remembered from the old days. But yeah, let's see what Peter Windsor have to say. I mean, he thought it was weird that Norris didn't win the Canadian Grand Prix. So I wonder if he will think this was weird that he didn't win this also. So, come on, let's play.
It came down to a showdown in the last run. Max on a new set of softs, Lando on a used set of softs. In theory now it was all over. Max had a 9-second lead by the time they both went to their new sets of tyres for this last stint, their second tyre change during the Spanish Grand Prix. But Lando was all over him. Lando was all over him, particularly in Sector 1. He was quicker by about 2 to 3 kilometres an hour on the straight, and of course that is a huge factor in Sector 1, and he was at least the equal, if not superior to Max in Sectors 2 and 3 at that stage of the race. Of course, we'll never know how much margin Max had at that point, but for Max to allow a 9-second lead to come down to 2 seconds as the checkered flag flew, you've got to assume that he was pretty near to the edge of decent time management. I wouldn't say the edge of the pace, the true pace of the RB20, but as near to the edge as he would want to go, given the margin he would want with time management. So it was a great win for Max Verstappen. As he said, as he got out of the car, I didn't have the quickest car today. Probably referring to the top speed of the Red Bull, apart from anything else, or indeed the compromises they had to make in order to make the car as good as they could in Sectors 2 and to some extent Sector 3. So where did Lando lose this race? Well, he drew an ace on the grid as well.
George Russell ruined everything.
Because he was on a new set of softs as the covers came off, and Max was on a used scrubbed set of soft tyres. So in theory, Lando was going to have the advantage, and it was very clear what the McLaren Lando Norris plan was at that point, to take the lead into the first corner and to open out a lead over Max Verstappen, bearing in mind that in the back end of the race, Lando was going to be on a scrub set of softs and Max on a new set. So it all came down to the start. He'd got the pole, he's on the cleaner side of the grid, and then to get a lead. He made a pretty good start, actually. I mean, he said after the race he was going to have to review it, look at what happened. He made a pretty good start, but the McLaren just didn't seem to accelerate quite as well as the Red Bull RB20, and not quite as well, gotta say, as the Mercedes. George Russell made a fabulous start from P4 on the grid.
Yeah,
and whilst the focus was on the drag race down to the first corner between Lando and Max, and Lando obviously worried about the inside, starting to edge to the inside as much as he could. Max on the inside from his P2 starting grid position, having to go slightly onto the grass, as he called it later, a bit of rallying to avoid Lando, and there was a bit of discussion on the radio about that, whether or not that would induce some sort of penalty, but it was looked at by the stewards, but there was no further action taken, and so they bottled down to the first corner. Max, remember, I've always pointed out, isn't the last of the late breakers. Lando, I wouldn't have said is massively late as well, but he should have been able to outbrake Max into turn 1, and I think that's what Max...
I mean, he maybe could have, but George Russell made so Norris braked maybe earlier and harder than he maybe should have, and that ruined everything.
Was kind of thinking might happen, but it all went wrong when George Russell, from the outside, seeing all this stuff going on, moved to the left, to the outside in the Mercedes, and just gazumped them both on the outside. Now, there's going to be a lot of talk after the race about the best overtake of the Spanish Grand Prix, but for me, that won it hands down.
No.
Absolutely superb piece of opportune driving by George Russell round the outside of both of them to take the lead of the Spanish.
I wouldn't say that. It could have it so bad for George Russell.
Grand Prix. And I think Lando was probably in a bit of a state of shock at seeing George on the left, Max obviously on his right still, and he just backed out of it. And there went the race. That was where Lando Norris gave the lead, if you like, to Max Verstappen, because within 1 or 2 laps it was very clear that Max was going to be all over George, and indeed he was. Pulled off a beautiful pass on George Russell. It wasn't just DRS either, it was down the outside, hold position. George Russell, not an easy guy to overtake at any stage of any Grand Prix. Absolutely superb judgment by both drivers, got to say. A little bit like the Silverstone 2021 with Max and Lewis, until of course they went off at Copse Corner. But incredible judgment by both of them. So then Max pulled away and you thought, yeah, this is kind of going to be it, because Lando's going to be held up badly by George and the race is effectively over. And the advantage Lando had of being on those new softs was quickly disappearing. And
True.
that first phase of the race was really characterized.
So we can still say Logan Sargent and George Russell yet again ruined a race that could have been interesting, funny, good fight between Max and Lando Norris.
I think by Lando's response to a radio message around lap 18 when George Russell came in for medium tyres. And the message to Lando was, do you want to cover George and come in now in response? And Lando said, no, I want to race Max. That was brilliant. Classic Lando Norris. And so he was out there until...
And then he says something else like, I'm not sure. Are we fighting for the win or something else? So he
23 on
saved
that new
some
set
more
of softs, taking advantage that they were new. I mean, that was the one thing he was able to do. Max came in on lap 20, which left Lando in a lead, and with every passing lap it was clear he was going to have a tyre advantage, certainly over Mercedes, but potentially over Max as well. So the race was taking on a different colour now. And in that second stint on medium tyres, it was clear that the McLaren was slightly quicker than the Red Bull. This is the first time we'd seen them both on new sets of tyres, in this case the medium. But it was a little bit quicker in a straight line and seemed to be really good everywhere compared with the Red Bull. I was saying yesterday that I thought the Red Bull would have the advantage through the last corner, particularly on that bump at the apex of that very quick right-hander. But I've got to say the McLaren today looked absolutely superb through there as well. And there was never a lap when Lando wasn't plus 2 or 3 kilometres an hour quicker through the speed trap and over the start-finish line for that matter, than Max Verstappen. So the pressure again this season was on Red Bull. Lando was lapping 0.2, 0.3 quicker, consistently quicker than Max on this medium tyre. And as we were saying at the start of the year, when other teams, occasionally Ferrari we've seen this year, certainly McLaren now consistently, are closing the...
Didn't mention Mercedes. Why is that? That's so weird. Mercedes are back. They will win a race, most likely.
Gap to Red Bull. It's going to manifest itself in pressure when it comes to strategy and other things set up of the car as well. And that's what we saw in the Spanish Grand Prix today. Pressure on strategy. They brought Max in on lap 45 for his new set of soft tyres. And as I said at the start of the video, you would have thought at that moment that all bets were off, because here was Max refreshed on a new set of softs to take him through to the finish of the race. And Lando was going to have to go to a scrub set of softs. So there they began that last face-off, lap 45, and Lando matched him 2 laps later. He probably could have gone a little bit further on those mediums, but this was a face-off, and this was soft tyre against soft tyre, and McLaren couldn't afford to have Lando for too long on the medium while Max was out there on the soft, potentially a new set of softs, potentially eking out a bigger lead. Max did a 17.9, which was pretty quick at that stage of the race, but Lando then responded with a 17.3 and then a 17.1, and suddenly this 9-second gap was going down to 8 to 7 to 6, and most of the advantage that Lando had was in that sector 1, was in top speed through the air. If we just flash back certainly to the start of the year, absolutely to last year, and to think that a McLaren was going to be quicker than a Red Bull through the air in terms of...
Before Mercedes even become faster than Red Bull. Yeah, I would say maybe hard to believe that, at least after 2021, but after 2022 maybe not that hard, and after 2023 even less hard to see McLaren being up there fighting for wins before even Mercedes actually can fight for a win when Red Bull is still good.
The top speed through the speed trap. in Barcelona. You would never have thought it possible, but here it was, and he was remorselessly putting pressure on Max. There was an amusing interlude, cameo, whatever you want to call it, a couple of laps later when they got onto Max's radio and said, "Strat 10, Max, Strat 10." And he said, "I can't hear you, Strat 10 or Strat 2?" Very calmly. Actually, I sounded more agitated then than Max's response. And I suppose at that moment you thought, yeah, Max is pretty much in control here. But certainly Red Bull, thinking he needed everything he could get in terms of engine power, richness, whatever it was going to be, on the setup of that car. Let me just read through now the Sector 1 times in that period, in that chase, which is basically from lap, say, 56 to 66, the last 10 laps, a bit like the Canadian Grand Prix, you got to say. Sector 1, this is Max Verstappen's, this shows the consistency and brilliance of both drivers really, but Sector 1,
More fishes
Max
for the
23-2,
collection.
23-1, 23-1, 23-2,
Oh, we soon
23-1, 23-1,
done for the
23-2,
day.
23-2, 23-3, 23-2, 23-2. This is despite knowing every lap that Lando's drawing nearer. No mistakes in his most vulnerable sector. Very impressive driving. So if you wanted to, it's easy to say Lando should have won this race, but you want to see how Max Verstappen...
I mean, he could maybe if George Russell hadn't ruined everything. That's the biggest problem. George Russell ruined it.
won this race. It was on that sort of consistency, as I say, in his most vulnerable sector. In the same sector, on those same laps, Lando Norris. Remember, Max is doing very low 23s. 22.6, 23.0, 23.0, 22.9, 22.9, 22.5, 23.0, 22.9, 22.8, 22.9. So you can see the sort of pressure Max was under, and not one mistake at all. Very, very impressive. And let it come to within 2 seconds as they cross the start-finish line. You could say it was a perfectly judged race. I still have ringing in my ears, I've got to say, after the San Marino Grand Prix, that discussion I had with a Ferrari-related engineer saying that they thought Max was just playing with them and that he had a lot more in hand. And I've got to reiterate that, I think. We don't really know how much margin Max actually had in Barcelona.
Nope, we don't.
But for me, 2 seconds is a very, very nerve-wracking gap, particularly as it's so easy to pull off a DRS pass in Barcelona, and I can't imagine that Max was anything other than right on the edge of where he wanted to be with that car and how quickly he wanted to go and how hard he was able to push it. And as I say, he got out of the car and one of the first things he said was, "We didn't have the quickest car today." So all credit to him, all credit to the team for the job they did. And bad luck for Lando Norris. Not really luck, of course. I mean, he didn't make the best of his pole position.
Bad luck because George Russell get past him.
That's the first thing. And for sure there will be data from McLaren and Mercedes as they look at that acceleration run of his off the line. They did enough work, and they all did enough work in terms of burnouts, clutch, everything else. So it's a real mystery at the moment as to why he didn't have the momentum and advantage that he should have had from the pole. And then there was that rallycross incident with Max going down to the first corner. Well, they're still flat out in probably 7th gear at that point, I would think. And then there was the outbraking thing. And then there was getting passed by George Russell. So within the space of about 3 seconds, the Spanish Grand Prix was on its head for Lando Norris. But he got it all back by extending that early stint on the soft tyre and getting a run on the Mercedes as a result. Of course, it wasn't that easy for Lando because he had to pass both Mercedes in order to get back in a position to race with Max. And that in itself was beautiful to watch. Relatively easy to pass Lewis Hamilton. George Russell, something else, as you can imagine. And I think that actual pass went on for about 5 corners. It began turn 1 and 2, and they just sort of ran side by side, out of 3, into 4, through 4, down to 5, out of 5, and it was only eventually when they filtered into single file that Lando managed to get in front of George. But it was always going to be touch and go. It was always going to be unbelievably hairy, the racing between Lando and George Russell. It's the first time I think we've ever really seen those two absolutely square, eyeball to eyeball, in a state of the race when their cars are just about as good as they can be. Obviously the McLaren was a slightly better car, but there was not much wrong with the Mercedes in terms of its own package at that point. So to see that racing going on was just very impressive. I was watching a little bit of Spanish TV and they kept saying, "Oh, these two great friends, Lando and George Russell." I kept thinking, the grande amigo. I kept thinking, I'm not sure they're that close. But anyway, I'm sure there's no animosity between them, but I wouldn't have said that they are the closest of friends. Anyway, it was quite.
There we have the
it's quite
green.
amusing to listen to that. And just on that, it's also worth looking at the top speeds. First of all, the top speed comparison between Max and Lando when they weren't getting toes or DRS or whatever. So here they are from say lap 57. Max 30. This is through the speed track. Max 305, Lando 306, 307, 309, 301, 304, 303, 309. 304, 329, that's Lando getting a toe from Fernando Alonso. 304, 307, I say toe, DRS, excuse me. 306, 309, 306, 308, 308, 309. And then Max finally got a bit of a DRS from, I think it was Logan Sargent, last lap, 324, 310. So you can see that's about 3 kilometers an hour, which is significant, and that's what helped.
Yeah, but we need to stop you for some, let's see, there we have it. Like the black tang and the black batty and the black clayfish. They are somewhat similar, but not. Let's see if we can. We need this one. Go away. Then we want this one, and then we go back to this one, and then we change and you see some difference between whatever this fish is called and yeah, what the fuck is that called? Spotty lime light blue, and I don't know this name, but if we go back, they look similar, but you clearly see when you have them next to each other there are a big difference between them. Yes, if we go back to Peter Windsor, you can continue talking.
Lando so much into his superiority through sector one. So a really good race between those two, and they both look pretty
good. No, it was not a good race. It could have been so much better if George Russell hadn't get past them in the beginning and ruined everything.
For once, they both looked a bit sweaty and hot when they got out of the car. I like to see that, and it was a hot day. And it was a tough race. There was absolutely no chance.
One more fish for the collection.
Between those two, it was a very hard day's work in the office for both of them. And they were sweating. Amazing. Couldn't believe it. After the race. Good to see. And Mercedes and Ferrari finished third and fourth. Obviously slower than McLaren, but ahead of the other McLaren, of Oscar Piastri. At least you can say that. And in both cases, the driver who was ahead of his teammate was the driver who ran soft, medium, soft, rather than the soft, medium, hard that was chosen for George Russell and for Carlos Sainz in the relative position at Ferrari. Both George and Carlos had been ahead of, respectively, Lewis and Charles Leclerc, and yet they were beaten by Lewis and Charles, which just shows, of course, if nothing else, that the right strategy for both those teams would have been soft, medium, soft, rather than putting him on the hard. And I'm sure Carlos Sainz doesn't feel particularly good about that.
Why not? It's super funny for him. Home race, getting a bad strategy by Ferrari. So many new fishes for the collection, hopefully. God damn it. Oh yeah, I can put the copper away. One more fish for the collection, and it's time to go down to the fun chest room and place the fishes in the chest room. So continue.
Carlos had there was an interesting thing with Carlos early in the race, a slight wheel bashing thing going on with Charles Leclerc, in which resulted in Charles getting on the radio saying he drove into me, he closed the door, whatever.
He did.
Carlos, of course, won't be happy with that result. P6 in the end, effectively because of this tyre strategy that he was on, chosen by Ferrari.
I mean, get better. I mean, that's why you're not in Ferrari 2025. And Lewis Hamilton will be there. Because you're not good enough. And we need to do some counting. Let's see. This one shouldn't be counted. Let's see. 20, 24, 30, 36, 40. So, no, we need to write that down first. 1669. Okay, then we write 16, 17, and we will probably not be, no, not, it should be plus 40. 24, 30, 36, 40. Yeah, now we can continue, Peter. Now we have done that.
Ferrari, so that won't have gone down particularly well. There was a moment when Carlos also had to go, he ran wide going into turn one, took to the escape road rather than go through the pass with Charles. And that was, you know, you could say, well, others didn't do that, and there were some beautiful passes. I mean, even Sergio Perez pulled off a pretty nice pass in the midfield there when he was on a relatively new set of tyres. And Carlos then, you know, it looked like he misjudged it, but I like to give him the benefit of the doubt there and say, when it is your teammate, and your teammate Charles Leclerc, and it is Ferrari, you need to have a little bit more margin there. And then there was this other cameo where it was Lewis Hamilton catching Carlos Sainz, Lewis on a newer set of tyres, and it was impossible at that point to imagine that Carlos wouldn't be thinking, well, here's the guy that's replacing me. I need to show how well I can drive. And he did a pretty good job for a lap or two. But then Lewis got him into one in such a way that they touched. And Carlos made quite a big thing about the fact that he had to move to the left, that Lewis touched him and then pulled away. And got on the radio saying, you know, he must have to give that position back. And quite predictably...
True. Give that back.
I think the steward said, very racing incident, no further action. And I think that then demoralised Carlos a bit as well towards the back end of the race. He's been on the wrong end of virtually every steward's decision in which he's been involved in his Formula One career when it comes to passes like that.
So Alonso is maybe right that it's British bias against people from Spain. Maybe he's onto something.
But I do think the stewards probably made the right decision there. It was a relatively light touch, and I think Lewis would still have pulled off the pass even if he hadn't touched him. So it wasn't as if in order to get past he knocked him off the track or anything like that. Anyway, it was an interesting interlude between the current Ferrari driver and the future Ferrari driver in the middle of the Spanish Grand Prix, and it probably won't be the last time we'll see those two wheel to wheel in 2024. Oscar Piastri recovered a bit on race day. They changed the front floor of the McLaren overnight. Which they're allowed to do. There was some damage, and that seemed to improve the car a lot for him. So he had a pretty good race, finished P7 in the end. Sergio Perez, who started 11th with that 3-place grid penalty from Canada, worked his way up to finish 8th, drove reasonably well, kind of like...
I mean, this is make Peter so fucking beautiful. Or amazing. He actually see how people drive, or what they do. And then we have P1, fucking brain rot. Just fucking brain dead takes. Doesn't even have everything mentioned to why stuff happened like it did. They are saying Perez bad.
Like Oscar Piastri pulled off a few passes, as I said.
Fuck yourself.
And the two Alpines managed to keep going and finish in the points. P9, P10, quite impressive. Just ahead of, again, just out of the points, the Haas Ferrari of Nico Hülkenberg, who beat the Aston Martins. I mean, very impressive that Haas Ferrari are beating Aston now. Fernando Alonso, very disappointing 12th, ahead of Guanyu Zhou.
Then you should really be happy with Alpine. They are beating both of them.
In the Sauber, Valtteri Bottas looking quite good for a while, but the victim of a weird tyre strategy as well, finished 16th. And Williams, as they have been all weekend, were effectively nowhere. There was a bit of a weird thing going on towards the end of the race when Alex Albon seemed to lock the rears, which had done a lot of laps by then. He had very little grip. He was on softs. And he lost the back end and just kept ranting into the radio about, what was that? I want to know what happened. As if he couldn't possibly have made a mistake. But it looked very much like he just locked the rears going into turn 4. I think it was turn 4. Anyway.
I mean, can't they want to know if they're wrong with the car, or did he just make a mistake?
Back to the front of the race. A good win for Max Verstappen. No, much more than a good win. An excellent win for Max Verstappen. If on this day the McLaren Mercedes was the quicker car. He did a really good job. Good start. Good start down the inside. Some great passes as well. And amazing consistency under pressure when Lando was catching him in the last 10 laps of the race. As distinct from Canada, when he was pulling away over the last 10 laps of the race. I said then that I thought, I was surprised Lando didn't win it. And Lando said, oh, well, you know, I spoke to him on Thursday and he said, well, quite clearly the Red Bull was a quicker car in absolutely dry conditions in Canada. But here it was different. The McLaren seemed to be the quicker car over the last 10 laps. And he was closing the gap on Max. And Max, under pressure, again showed a side of his driving that we haven't seen very much in this winning era of Max Verstappen. It's usually been attack and pull away, but here he is under defence, in defence, doing a great job as well. So there we go.
Boring.
Good Spanish Grand Prix, lots of overtaking, lots of action, non-stop action really. A short lap, probably, I mean, it's not as short as Austria next weekend's circuit, but a short lap after some of the longer laps we've had, and I suppose that adds to it as well in terms of traffic and everything else that's going on. And it'll be interesting now to see what happens in Austria, because we know how well McLaren can go there. Lando's been particularly good in Austria. It's a home race for Max and Red Bull as well. But you got the feeling now that if things are as they appear to be right now in Spain, then McLaren have an excellent chance of winning the Austrian Grand Prix.
Do Mercedes also have that? Aren't they back? Peter Windsor, please tell.
Meanwhile, Max goes on winning, leading the World Championship, doing what he does at the almost halfway point of the season. Everyone's looking very exhausted in the pit lane, the workers that is, the people that do the real work. It's been a very, very tough first 10 races in terms of the travel and all the other logistics that come into Formula One. And it's not even half over. There's a lot more to come. So some of it will come down to how the teams are best organised and approach this really, really grueling part of the season as well. Anyway, a big thanks to you for watching. A big thanks to my partners, to Jetcraft, to OEM Exclusive, and to Track Ninja. Maybe time for a live stream before the next race. We'll watch this space for that one. In the meantime, thanks for watching. See you soon.
No, okay, let's see. When will black screen at 1925? Oh, so just 20-second black screen. That's, hey, progress for Peter Windsor. Still don't understand this fucking music, but okay, sure. Green, yellow. Okay, go away. We watched that and now we can just go. Go to doing the putting down the fishes in the correct place. Green, yellow. Light blue, blue. Light blue, blue. brown, green. Man, the race would have been so much better if... Why, Josh Russell? Why did you ruin the race? Brown, green, pink, yellow. Nice. Brown. Brown, light gray. Wait, no brown, light gray? Nope. One more rest, and we need a sign. You need a Carlos sign. Give. Man, I need to remove so much stuff. Oh! The cob... Cyan. Brown, light gray. Brown, light gray. Man, the collection is just getting bigger and bigger. Brown, red. Purple, blue. Brightly purple. See what happened when the Game of Thrones happened. I hope some real action will soon start. Brightly purple. I mean, it's still the build up to the big fight against the dragons. Brightly purple. They were brightly purple. Brightly purple blue. White purple dasher. No, wait. Oh, I not picked them in the right order. That's why it's so weird. I was thinking, like, aren't clayfish before the dasher? And it is just purple. Oh, I did the purple. Let's see, where was the purple? There, purple. Purple red. We had purple blue. Do we have purple red? No, we don't. Purple blue. Cyan blue. Lime. Light blue. pink, orange, brown, yellow, green, white, black, red. Nope. Right. Purple, blue, purple, red. Now we can go to the clayfish. The clayfish, blue, green. And then after clayfish and dash it, then we can go to the flopping Lewis Hamilton. Blue, green. Flopping around Lewis Hamilton in no, dash. Wait, that's also in dasher. In a Mercedes. This is blue, light gray, black, purple. Oh, black. Black Magenta. That we have. Purple, light blue. Oh, blue. Didn't we have? No, it was black. Light blue. No, light gray. Purple, light blue. They were light gray. Light gray, yellow. Nice. Some nice Minecraft music. Blue. Purple. Blue, green. Blue, orange, blue, white, blue, yellow, blue, light, blue, blue, light gray, blue, lime, blue, brown, and then we have blue, green. Maybe I should remove. Can I remove some here also? 2 places. Oh, I could. Man, can make this less a nightmare to do stuff in. Yeah, there I should place it. Purple, light blue. Did we have purple? No. Purple, clayfish purple. Clayfish brown. Clayfish purple. Purple, light blue. And we have purple, light blue. Now it's time for the dasher. Dasher. White, purple. Gray. White, purple. No, we don't have white, purple. Gray, and I don't believe I saw any gray. Gray cyan. Dasher, gray cyan. Wasn't it gray here? No, brown. Briny was gray. And gray dasher. They were gray dasher. Gray cyan. Gray cyan, gray light gray, gray lime, gray white, gray red, gray yellow, gray green, gray orange, gray brown, gray magenta, gray pink, gray cyan. Cob cyan. Then we have blockfish brown. Blockfish brown. Blockfish brown. Oh my god, I've written brown light grey. It should be blockfish brown. Blockfish brown. Blockfish brown. Okay, that's done. Now it's time to and then we can remove this one. Let's see. This one is still needed. Can we remove Riley? Yeah, we can remove that also. Can we remove this also? Yes, we can. So much more room we have now. Oh shit, we can do this also. Money 2. This one we can have. This one we can remove 4. Remove. Okay, one. I will keep that one. Can we remove? That's one. We keep that also. Okay, now we can continue with glitter. No, flopper first. Lewis Hamilton. He's flopping around in a Mercedes. And soon he will flop around in a Ferrari. Oh, one more. No, not one more. No, started to pick them. After flopper is glitter, and then we can start with the cob. Move everything away so we can place the bad fishes back. Flopper. Oh my god. So much bigger and more room I have now. Brown, orange. Brown, orange. Flopper, brown. Clayfish was brown. Flopper. There was flopper, brown. Flopper, brown, orange. Can we? No, we don't have it. Nice. Flopper, brown, orange, black, green, cyan, pink, purple, blue, lime, red, magnet, and light blue, yellow. No. Flopper, brown. Flopper, grey. Was that also clayfish grey, or was it flopper grey I have seen here? Flopper purple. Flopper yellow. Flopper blue. Flopper light grey. Flopper orange. Flopper yellow. Flopper grey. There were flopper grey cyan. That one we have. Black, white, I believe it said. Yep, black, white. Flopper black. Do we have a flopper black here? Flopper brown. Flopper purple. Yeah, I must have been blind. Flopper black. There we have it. Flopper black white. And we have it. Cyan purple. Silence. I kill you. Purple. Cyan purple. And the chest will only be taken if the it was in the right chest. If not, I will make a new one. fuck is the flopper sign? Flopper cyan. Flopper cyan. Flopper cyan. Okay, no cow death, but man, what the fuck did you get damage from? Oh, is the foxes okay? Okay, we have 3 whites. 1, 2, 3. At least 3 gray, 4 maybe. Orange foxes, that's good. They're not dying off still. They're not also commit suicide. God damn it. What the fuck? What was I doing? I wanted to. Okay, cyan. Flopper cyan. God damn it. Flopper cyan. Cyan purple, cyan black, cyan light blue, green, pink, white, magenta, red, brown, blue. I hate lightning strikes because they ruin my nice forest or my tree area near my castle. And also it's ruined the roof also. Fucking burn it down. Let's see. Flopper. Time for the glitter. Orange magenta. And that we have pink yellow. Do we have a pink yellow? We hopefully haven't. Pink yellow. And we have green purple. Green purple. We have green purple also. Green purple, green purple. Green cyan. Wait, green. At least we don't have green cyan. Oh, it's cob. Green cyan. And we don't have green cyan for cob either. Brown blue. Brown blue. Nice. And then we have yellow magenta. Nice. Oh shit, I thought we were done, but we aren't. Fuck me. We need to do the S fishes. Snooper, purple, brown. I believe purple is not here. And it isn't. Snooper, purple. Snooper, purple. Purple. Snoople. Man, I hate. Purple, brown, and we have purple fucking brown. Do we have purple light? Yeah, do we have purple light blue? Oh, we fucking don't. We fucking don't. Purple light blue. Four, 9, 13. How many different colors are there? I believe 15 different colors. Where is the information? "15 base colors." Yes, 15 base colors, and it's 1, 9, 13. 2 more. Two more for Snooper Purple, and then this is done. Snooper Purple. We don't have Snooper. Snooper 100% purple. Green, orange. No. Red, green. Green, red, light. Red, green, light. Red, green. We don't have red, green, light blue, pink, orange, lime, cyan, green. Magenta blue. Magenta blue. We have magenta blue. Blue dabadi dabada. Spotty lime light blue. Lime light blue, and that we also have. Spotty. Time for stripy Magenta light grey. Yeah, you get to sleep. Magenta light grey. God damn it. White brown. Green light blue. And we have white brown. White brown. Nope. Oh yeah, this one on this left. Purple pink. Sunstreak purple. Do we have sunstreak purple here? Sunstreak magenta cyan. Sunstreak purple. Purple. Come on, it's the last fish. Let me fucking see it. Purple. 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 Sunstreak, there we have it. Fuck me. Purple, pink. And we have it. Okay. How many? 10, 14, 20. Just minus 20. That's something good. Almost good. 20. 11. 89. And to make sure I didn't fuck it up, let's do this. The funniest thing ever you can do is look at them again to make sure. And I have done wrong before, and why would you wanna? I mean, the time I waste to collecting them, you really don't want to fuck it up. Brown, orange. I mean, I can have done this in a so much better way, how I collect them or place them and everything, but I'm doing it in my own way. Make it more fun. Green. Green, yellow. Green, yellow. That's yellow. I want green. Green, yellow. No. Green, yellow. Okay, blockfish. Blockfish. Light blue. Light blue, blue. purple, blue. Brightly gray. Brightly purple. Purple, blue. Black Magenta. I believe Black Magenta was maybe here. Clayfish. Black Magenta. Nope, I was wrong. Wait, clayfish? Oh shit. Here, okay, this one. What's in this? Black Magenta. Yes, purple, light blue. Wait, the fuck? Why? Oh my god. This I should also remove. Purple, light blue. Purple should be snooper purple. We want clayfish purple, clayfish red. Clayfish magenta, clayfish brown. We want clayfish purple, clayfish purple light blue. Flopper gray cyan. Flopper gray cyan. We want to remove this one. And then we place that and that, and then we can move that away. Okay, I'm apparently fucked that up. And then we want pink, red, pink, yellow, pink, red, pink, yellow. Nice. Okay, what did we have? Flopper. Black, white. Flopper, black, white. Black, white. Yep, go away. Glitter, green, purple. Pink, yellow. Pink, yellow, pink, yellow. Orange. Purple brown. Or purple brown is snooper. Purple brown. Purple brown snooper. Purple brown snooper. Spotty green. Orange. Spotty green, orange. Magenta blue. Limelight blue. Magenta light gray. Oh, stripy. Stripy. Magenta light gray. Green. Green light blue. Purple pink. Sunstreak purple. Where did I find sunstreak purple? There we have sunstreak purple pink. And we are done. Now we can go and put them down. Oh wait, we need to 10, 14, minus 20. 16. No, 89. Minus 20. 20 plus will be, yeah. So we are up 1,689 tropical fish collected. This one we will want to get removed. No, I want this one. We need to go. Okay, let's see. Can I know where I am? Do I see chest? Yeah, it's just there. Oh, which side do chest have? It must be at that way. So let's see. If I'm right, the chests are this way. Then we have Strider at that way. Foxes that. We have the pandas there, and then we have the mushroom cows there. Let's see. Yep, pandas, mushroom cows. And then we have Striders, foxes. There are foxes and Striders. And holy shit, it's so big. Oh, the other way is the village. Or the castle village. But this was the wrong place. Fuck me. Everything I said was right, but fuck me. I wanted to place down the fishes, not going to the polar bears. I wanted to go to the turtles. Ah, the purple fishes is with each other. Okay. We start with Betty blue brown, Betty brown orange, Betty grey blue, Betty green yellow, blockfish light blue blue, briny purple blue, clayfish black magenta, clayfish purple light blue, flopper grey cyan, flopper black white, glitter green purple, glitter pink yellow, glitter orange magenta. Snooper purple brown, spotty orange green, spotty magenta blue, spotty lime light blue, stripy magenta light grey, stripy green light blue, sunstreak purple pink. And we can go and end it now. We have maybe done a lot. Can we get one last fish for the collection? Oh yeah, I need to count everything again. That will be boring. At least many of the fishes are in chest by themselves, so it's more easily to count. Like 1 row is 9, 1 row plus 1 is 10. It's like 9 plus how many fishes is below. Oh! We didn't end with no. We didn't end with 1 more fish for the collection, but we can end with somewhat interesting stuff. Don't go away. Yes, I'm talking to you. Stop walking away. Slimeborn. No. Sure. Oh, fuck that up. Oh my god, fuck me. Oh, that was... Okay, the fuck did the screenshot look like? Nice enough. Oh, fuck me. You made me place down that. Just a bad way. Pufferfish. Man, it took some days for me to remember that name. We need... Oh. Yeah, also the bees. The trees, the bees. I don't know how many flowers I placed down here, but man, everything has gone because the fucking lightning strikes. So mean. Nope, I will not waste an emerald on that. There can it be. Okay, let's kill this pufferfish off. Okay, now we're done. And we're almost dying. Oh no, we're not done. Boat. Don't hit the rabbits. No, this is done. Oh, god damn it. Need to make one more. What's called secret door into the castle. Come on, sunlight. Go down more. Huh. That was close enough. Uh, 1689. 1689. '89, 1689, 1689, and we go in each one more time. Uh, 1689, yes, we end it, and yeah, that's it, and I believe in the car maybe is next week also. Let's see. In the car. Squad. Oh shit! Fuck that. Just skip it. I don't wanna care to change that. 7th July, and then we have next race. It will just be Formula 1. The race after that is an IndyCar race also.